Chapter 37:37. In Duan Lingtian's opinion, the little world in his body was his absolute secret. Whether it was the god of life tree or the 5 divine elements, once the secrets were exposed, all that awaited him was a tragic death. Besides the strongest powerhouses, there was likely no one who could resist such a temptation. Perhaps even the strongest powerhouses might be tempted. Although the strongest powerhouses couldn't use these things, that didn't mean their loved ones couldn't use them. At the very least, Duan Lingtian put himself in their shoes and thought. If he was the strongest powerhouse and had the chance to obtain these things, even if he couldn't use them, he would definitely give them to his wife, children, and parents. Hearing Ling Huan say that they could enter by themselves, Duan Lingtian relaxed. Then, for the rest of the journey, Duan Lingtian walked to the side and sat down cross-legged, closing his eyes to rest. Half a day passed in the blink of an eye. We're here. As Ling Huan's voice sounded out, Duan Lingtian opened his eyes. He looked out of the flying ship and discovered that they had arrived in the skies above the hidden fog sect. At this time, Ling Huang also opened his eyes and stood up. A pair of originally turbid eyes, in an instant, shot out 2 rays of light. Little fellow. Ling Huan looked at Duan Lingtian. His originally frivolous and fat face now appeared solemn. We will follow behind you and enter the hidden fog sect. If no one opens the path for the hidden fog sect's great protective array, we will be discovered if we rashly enter. With you leading the way, we can conceal ourselves and follow. In this case, unless there is a divine sovereign nearby, it will be impossible to discover our whereabouts. Duan Lingtian nodded at Ling Huan's words. In truth, he had been wondering how Old Hung and Old Man Hung would enter the hidden fog sect. After all, the hidden fog sect had an array formation that had been passed down for many years. Even with Old Man Hung and Old Man Hang's strength, they would likely be discovered if they rashly entered. Now, after hearing Ling Huan's words, he suddenly realized that he had to open the path in front. As for how Ling Huan and the other man followed him in, it wasn't difficult for him to guess. They must have followed him in like a shadow when he used his identity token to open the way. After Ling Huan put away the spaceship, Duan Lingtian discovered that regardless of whether it was Ling Huan or Ling Hung, their bodies had become illusory in an instant. It was as if they had turned into ripples in the void. Water laws. In that instant, Duan Lingtian also saw that the 2 of them were using the water principles to hide their bodies. Fortunately, he was close to them. If he was any further away, it would be difficult for him to see them. Go. Ling Huan's voice sounded. Don't look back lest someone finds out. Duan Lingtian nodded. Then, he headed towards the hidden fog sect station. With the core disciple status token, he passed through the layers of array formations outside the hidden fog sect station without encountering any hindrance. After returning to the hidden fog sect, Duan Lingtian directly returned to his residence in the core disciple training area. From beginning to end, he had no intention of hiding anything. It's Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian is back. And Duan Lingtian's return attracted the attention of many people. This was because many people hadn't heard any news about Duan Lingtian recently. Many people said that he wasn't in the hidden fog sect. Moreover, many people knew that core disciple Long Xiao was looking for Duan Lingtian. After all, Long Xiao had been looking for Duan Lingtian in King's Descent City with great fanfare. This was no longer a secret in the hidden fog sect. As for why Long Xiao was looking for Duan Lingtian, few people knew. But with Long Xiao's attitude at the time, it couldn't have been anything good. I think that Long Xiao will soon come knocking on my door. After Duan Lingtian returned to his residence, his lips curved up in a sneer. Before returning, he had received a message from Wu Feng saying that Long Xiao had stayed in King's Descent City for a period of time after learning that he had gone there. Moreover, Long Xiao had been looking for him with great fanfare. It was just as Duan Lingtian had thought. He had just returned when Long Xiao, who had received the news, came knocking on his door to look for him. Duan Lingtian. Long Xiao hadn't arrived yet, but his angry voice was like a thunderclap that resounded through the core disciple training area. It was deafening. Instantly, numerous figures soared up into the sky. They were precisely core disciples like Duan Lingtian. This voice, Is it senior apprentice brother Long Xiao? It's Long Xiao. I heard that Long Xiao was looking for Duan Lingtian in King's Descent City with great fanfare. Now that he's here, does that mean that Duan Lingtian has returned? I just asked someone. Duan Lingtian seems to have returned. When the group of core disciples came out, Long Zhao's figure had already appeared. Long Zhao's face was gloomy and his eyes were fierce. He stared at one of the core disciples' quarters, and his divine power was fluctuating as if it could explode at any time. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Duan Lingtian rose into the air and looked at Long Xiao from afar. He smiled faintly and said, "Senior apprentice brother Long Xiao, are you looking for me?" Currently, Duan Lingtian seemed as though nothing had happened, and he had a carefree expression. "Duan Lingtian, after hiding outside for so long, you're finally willing to come back?" Long Zhao's heart skipped a beat when he saw how calm Duan Lingtian was. He frowned slightly and extended his divine consciousness to envelop Duan Lingtian. "I was wondering why you suddenly came back. So you've become a low-level divine king and have become more capable." After probing Duan Lingtian's current cultivation, Long Xiao sneered. As Long Xiao spoke, the crowd burst into an uproar. "Duan Lingtian, he broke through? He isn't even 3,000 years old yet, right? To be more precise, he isn't even 2,800 years old yet. Heavens! He hasn't even reached 2,000 years of age. And yet he has comprehended the space laws to such a degree. He even has the strength to become a core disciple of our hidden fog sect with a divine spirit cultivation. Now that he has broken through to the lower God King realm, even an ordinary middle God King might not be his match. You also said that he is an ordinary medium-level divine king. Someone like senior apprentice brother Long Xiao who can defeat ordinary high-level divine kings isn't a match for him." As the core disciples were discussing, Duan Lingtian looked at Long Xiao in confusion. "Senior apprentice brother Long Xiao, what do you mean?" "Duan Lingtian, what are you playing at?" Long Xiao smirked. "Don't tell me you've forgotten what you promised me a few months ago." "What?" Duan Lingtian curiously asked, a confused look on his face. "It looks like you really didn't take my words to heart?" Long Zhao's complexion darkened. His eyes flashed with an intimidating cold light, and his tone was as cold as ice. "Senior apprentice brother Long Xiao, I really don't know what I promised you. How about you repeat yourself?" Duan Lingtian asked politely with a smile on his face. Good, very good." Long Xiao was so angry that he laughed. "It looks like after Duan Lingtian broke through to the lower divine king realm, you are so confident in yourself that you don't even place me in your eyes." Duan Lingtian calmly looked at Long Xiao, his expression carefree. He was waiting for Long Xiao to attack. Once Long Xiao attacked, he would have enough reason to defend himself. At that time, even if he killed Long Xiao, he would still be killing in self-defense. According to the rules of the Hidden Fog sect, he was innocent. However, what Duan Lingtian didn't expect was that before Long Xiao attacked, a figure rapidly approached from afar. This figure wasn't unfamiliar to him. It's senior apprentice brother Shangguan Xiongfeng. Senior apprentice brother Shangguan Xiongfeng is here. The person who came was Shangguan Xiongfeng. As soon as he appeared, the eyes of the surrounding core disciples lit up with excitement. Shangguan Xiongfeng was one of the top 3 core disciples in the Hidden Fog sect. Although he was only a middle divine king, his true strength was stronger than most of the inner sect elders. Even if Shangguan Xiongfeng's identity as Elder Feng's disciple was ignored, he was still the target of many core disciples. Many core disciples idolized him and revered him greatly. "Long Xiao, you aren't afraid of him, are you? You actually called me over." Shangguan Xiongfeng smiled at the core disciples, and then walked to Long Xiao's side. He sent a message to Long Xiao. "This Duan Lingtian has broken through to the lower divine king realm." Long Xiao said in a deep voice, "Although I don't think he is my match, since he dares to come back so brazenly, he must have a certain amount of confidence in himself. So, I asked you to help me out just in case." For Long Xiao to become the disciple of the Hidden Fog sect's elder lay, and have his current achievements, he naturally wasn't a reckless person. In his opinion, asking Shangguan Xiongfeng to help him out was just a favor. If he were to fail miserably, that would truly be a loss of face. "You are quite careful." Shangguan Xiongfeng looked deeply at Long Xiao, and then turned to Duan Lingtian. He lightly said, "Junior apprentice brother Duan, I didn't think we would meet again so soon." Shangguan Xiongfeng, did you come here to return the 2 revival good fortune pills that you stole from me in the past? Duan Lingtian calmly looked at Shangguan Xiongfeng, his tone incomparably indifferent. What do you mean I stole your revival good fortune pills? Shangguan Xiongfeng smiled. Junior apprentice brother Duan, didn't I use a medium-grade divine artifact to exchange for those 2 revival good fortune pills? How come you are saying that I stole your revival good fortune pills? You dare to do it, but you don't dare to admit it. As Elder Feng's disciple, aren't you afraid of losing face for him? Seeing Shangguan Xiongfeng's face, Duan Lingtian could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. He sneered. As Duan Lingtian spoke, the smile on Shangguan Xiongfeng's face instantly froze. Duan Lingtian, if you dare to slander me again, don't blame me for being impolite. Duan Lingtian smiled. Slander? How about we swear a heart demon blood oath in front of everyone, and see just who is slandering who? I can swear a heart demon blood oath to guarantee that everything I say is true. I'm just afraid you won't dare. Duan Lingtian's words caused Shangguan Xiongfeng's complexion to change. Chapter 37-38. As for the surrounding core disciples who didn't believe Duan Lingtian's words, when they heard that Duan Lingtian dared to make a heart demon blood oath, their hearts began to waver. Now when they saw Shangguan Xiongfeng's complexion change, they immediately understood what was going on. It seemed that Duan Lingtian was telling the truth. However, as they thought of how Duan Lingtian would confront Shangguan Xiongfeng, they couldn't help but feel their scalps go numb. This Duan Lingtian, did he not want to live anymore? Although Duan Lingtian's talent and perception were extremely high, and he was rarely seen in their hidden fog sect, it was a fact that he didn't have any background. As for Shangguan Xiongfeng, he was the disciple of Elder Feng, one of the 4 highest elders of the hidden fog sect. He was also Elder Feng's most beloved disciple. Today, even if Shangguan Xiongfeng killed Duan Lingtian in a rage, it was impossible for him to pay for Duan Lingtian's life with his own. At most, he would be casually punished. His status allowed him to ignore the sect's rules. How about it? Do you dare? Duan Lingtian looked at Shangguan Xiongfeng, his lips curling in a mocking smile. Long Xiao, who was standing beside Shangguan Xiongfeng, was also shocked by Duan Lingtian's strength. This Duan Lingtian, did he think they didn't dare to kill him? Not only did he provoke him, but he also provoked Shangguan Xiongfeng? Long Xiao, I want his life. Shangguan Xiongfeng was so angry that his body trembled. In the end, he couldn't bear it any longer. After greeting Long Xiao, his figure flashed and he flew towards Duan Lingtian. Long Xiao was speechless. I called you here just to watch the situation. Why are you doing it yourself? However, when he thought of his purpose in coming here today, which was to kill Duan Lingtian to vent his anger, he felt relieved. As long as this Duan Lingtian who had played him like a monkey died here today, it was fine. Whether he died at his hands or Shangguan Xiongfeng's hands, it was all the same. I can give you his life, but you will owe me a favor. Long Xiao shouted as he looked at Shangguan Xiongfeng's back. Sure. Upon hearing Long Xiao's words, Shangguan Xiongfeng, who had arrived near Duan Lingtian, replied coldly. As for the surrounding core disciples, at this moment, they only felt a chill in their hearts. These 2 people completely disregarded the rules of the Hidden Fog sect. If they wanted to kill someone, they would kill them. If they were in Duan Lingtian's position today, they would have died without a doubt. Moreover, after they died, the sect would not stand up for them. This was because both Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng had a master who could protect them. At this moment, they looked at Duan Lingtian with eyes full of pity. Deep in their hearts, they felt a sense of sympathy for him. What a pity for such a genius. Because of Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng, the Hidden Fog sect will lose a genius that is no worse than Shui Haichuan from 10,000 years ago. The group of core disciples sighed in their hearts. In the distance, the inner sect elder Zhang Jin, who had once led the way for Duan Lingtian and brought him here, had arrived a long time ago. He had been quietly watching everything that was happening before his eyes. Although he was the inner sect elder in charge of the core disciples' cultivation area, He should have stepped forward to stop the battle between two core disciples. But when he saw that one side was Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng, he didn't dare to interfere. If he didn't care, he would at most be punished. He wouldn't die. But once he interfered, he might suffer revenge in the future and die without a burial ground. Thus, even though he pitied Duan Lingtian, he didn't dare to interfere. He could only sigh in his heart. Duan Lingtian, why did you come back? Even if you broke through to become a lower god king, it is impossible for you to be a match for either one of them. And now, both of them want to kill you. Zhang Jin felt powerless. At the same time, messages were being sent out by the core disciples to those they were familiar with, informing them of what had happened. Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao wanted to kill Duan Lingtian. Shangguan Xiongfeng had already attacked. Duan Lingtian was in imminent danger. The news spread very quickly. As an inner sect elder, Tang Chun also received the news very quickly. Horror dawned on his face immediately. How did Duan Lingtian offend Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao? The last time Long Xiao looked for him, was it to kill him? Tang Chun felt his scalp tingle. Heavens! Duan Lingtian's status isn't so simple. If he dies in the Hidden Fog sect, then... Tang Chun didn't dare to think any further. In the past, before he went to Skywind City's Hidden Fog Academy and brought Duan Lingtian to the Hidden Fog sect, he had gone to a restaurant owned by a God King level family clan, the Zhong family. He had seen with his own eyes how the Zhong family feared Duan Lingtian, as if he were a god. At that time, he had guessed that behind Duan Lingtian, there was at least a god emperor level influence. And after that, he had asked the Zhong family's old ancestor many times. This was the Hidden Fog sect's old ancestor who had warned him not to move against the Zhong family. But the old ancestor wasn't willing to tell him. It was only recently that the old ancestor couldn't stand his pestering that he finally told him everything he knew. Duan Lingtian had once been together with a young girl. They were close to each other, as if they were brother and sister. And that young girl had a god emperor powerhouse protecting her. Moreover, this god emperor didn't seem to be an ordinary lower god emperor. He was suspected to be an outstanding lower god emperor, or even a middle god emperor. It had to be known that in their Hidden Fog sect, only the 4 highest elders of the Wind, Thunder, Cloud, and Fog sect could be considered outstanding lower god emperors. As for the remaining god emperors, they were all ordinary lower god emperors. For an existence like the Wind, Thunder, Cloud, and Fog sect's 4 highest elders to protect her, the young girl's status could be imagined. She was at least someone from a peak god emperor level influence, or even someone from a god emperor level influence. As for Duan Lingtian, he had a close relationship with that young girl. Crazy, this is crazy. Tang Chun's heart trembled. If Duan Lingtian really died at the hands of Long Xiao or Shangguan Xiongfeng in the Hidden Fog sect, it could be imagined what would happen to the Hidden Fog sect once that young girl was enraged. Granduncle. As Tang Chun's heart was shaking and his mind was blank, unable to recover for a long time, Tang Wuyan's message arrived. Hurry and go to the core disciples' cultivation area. Save Duan Lingtian. Tang Wuyan's message was filled with anxiety, and there was even a trace of sobbing in his voice. Tang Chun regained his composure. He hurriedly responded with a yes, and then rushed to the core disciples' cultivation area. He had to stop Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng. Otherwise, the Hidden Fog sect would welcome an unprecedented calamity. At that time, unless the Tianlong clan was willing to protect the Hidden Fog sect, it would be difficult for the Hidden Fog sect to escape annihilation. Vice Sect Master Morong. As he was rushing to the core disciples' cultivation area, Tang Chun didn't forget to send a message to Morong Suifeng, the Vice Sect Master of the Hidden Fog sect, as well as the Dean of Skywind City's Hidden Fog Academy. He told him what had happened in the Hidden Fog sect. Then he revealed some shocking news. Vice Sect Master Morong, you also participated in Skywind City's Zhou family's auction in the past. There was a young girl with a mysterious identity, who had a god emperor powerhouse protecting her. You should remember this, right? At that time, the youth who bid for the Jia Yibing 3 divine pill in the box was Duan Lingtian. This matter has been confirmed by the Zhong family. Before the young girl's god emperor powerhouse made a move, Someone from the Zhong family entered the box and saw Duan Lingtian. Vice Sect Master Morong. I don't have the Sect Master's soul bead. Quickly send a message to the Sect Master and tell him to stop Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng from killing Duan Lingtian. Tang Chun felt that by the time he arrived at the core disciples' cultivation area, it would be too late. So on the way he sent a message to Murong Suifeng, telling him to tell the Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master to stop Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng from killing Duan Lingtian. He believed that as long as Vice Sect Master Murong told the Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master about the pros and cons, the Sect Master would definitely tell Elder Feng and Elder Lei to stop the disciples. At the same time, Murong Suifeng, who was in Skywind City's Hidden Fog Academy, was completely stunned when he received Tang Chun's message. What? Duan Lingtian is the young man who went missing after the young lady left the Zhou clan's auction with the Divine Emperor by her side. Murong Suifeng was stunned for a moment. When he thought of what Tang Chun said, his expression changed. He immediately sent a message to the Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master. As for the Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master, after receiving Murong Suifeng's message, his expression also changed. Are you sure Duan Lingtian is that person? The Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master had entered the Hidden Fog Sect with Murong Suifeng when he was young. So, the two of them had a good relationship and often chatted in private. Because of this, when Murong Suifeng mentioned the Zhou family's auction house to him, he also knew about the young girl who had a God Emperor powerhouse protecting her. He also knew about the young man who had a close relationship with the young girl who had suddenly disappeared. Now, after learning that the young man was Duan Lingtian, and that Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were preparing to kill Duan Lingtian, his heart trembled. This matter can be confirmed by Skywind City's God King level Zhong family. Sect Master, the most important thing now is to stop Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng. If we stop them, Duan Lingtian won't die. If you want to confirm it, it won't be too late to confirm it later. Do you want to gamble? Murong Suifeng's messages came one after another, completely awakening the Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master. He didn't hesitate and immediately sent a message to the Hidden Fog Sect's Grand Elder Feng and Grand Elder Lei. He wanted them to stop their sect's disciples, Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, from killing Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian, it seems his background isn't ordinary. He once acted intimately with a young girl who had a God Emperor powerhouse protecting her. They seem to be siblings? That God Emperor powerhouse isn't an ordinary low-level God Emperor. He seems to be an outstanding low-level God Emperor. After Grand Elder Feng and Grand Elder Lei learned of this matter, they were naturally shocked. In particular, Grand Elder Lei was suddenly enlightened. No wonder that Duan Lingtian rejected me and wasn't willing to enter my sect. It seems his background isn't ordinary. We must stop Xiao immediately. We must stop Xiongfeng. When the two Grand Elders of the Hidden Fog Sect hurriedly regained their senses and wanted to take out the soul pearls of their sect's disciples, Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng. However, they discovered that the soul pearls of their sect's disciples, Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng, had completely shattered, turning into fragments that lay quietly in their storage rings. Chapter 37-39. At the core disciples' cultivation area. When Shangguan Xiongfeng attacked Duan Lingtian, the core disciples present, as well as the inner sect elder Zhang Jin, all thought that Duan Lingtian would die. Even though Duan Lingtian had displayed astonishing strength in the past, and had already stepped into the Lesser God King realm, Shangguan Xiongfeng's inner sect elder was much stronger than most inner sect elders. But Shangguan Xiongfeng was a core disciple whose strength surpassed most inner sect elders. His talent and perception could be ranked in the top echelons of the Hidden Fog Sect. In terms of laws, Shangguan Xiongfeng wasn't any weaker than Duan Lingtian. In terms of cultivation, Shangguan Xiongfeng was superior. In terms of divine artifacts, the two of them could only take out mediocre divine artifacts at most. As for bloodline power, Duan Lingtian came from a Devata realm, and wasn't a native of a realm of gods. Naturally, he didn't have it. However, Shangguan Xiongfeng had it. Of course, Duan Lingtian had accidentally comprehended the embryonic form of Sword Dao. Although it couldn't be considered a true Sword Dao, its might couldn't be underestimated. However, the embryonic form of Sword Dao wasn't enough for Duan Lingtian to overcome the gap in cultivation and bloodline power between him and Shangguan Xiongfeng. At most, the embryonic form of Sword Dao was equal to bloodline power. How could he make up for the gap in cultivation? Duan Lingtian is dead for sure. The heavens are jealous of geniuses. Shangguan Xiongfeng flew out like an eagle and attacked Duan Lingtian. As soon as he attacked, he took out a mediocre divine artifact and attacked without holding back at all. The surrounding core disciples felt pity in their hearts. Many people looked at Duan Lingtian with pity in their eyes. At the same time, they felt like a fox mourning the death of a rabbit. The disciples of the Hidden Fog Sect's 4 highest elders usually knew their place and behaved themselves. Once they attacked a Hidden Fog Sect disciple, it would be a nightmare for them. How dare you make fun of me, Long Xiao? You deserve to die. Long Xiao stood in the distance with his arms crossed in front of his chest. He looked at Duan Lingtian with a sneer on his face. His eyes were filled with schadenfreude. Duan Lingtian, it's good to have a backbone. But if you don't have the ability and still play with your backbone, then that's stupid behavior. If there is an afterlife, learn to keep a low profile. Long Xiao sent a voice transmission to Duan Lingtian, his tone full of ridicule. As soon as he finished speaking, he saw Duan Lingtian make a move. He actually also brazenly attacked Shangguan Xiongfeng. A mantis trying to stop a chariot. The mocking smile on Long Xiao's face grew wider. And now the others basically had the same thoughts. Duan Lingtian, if you can survive under my hands today, I will return those 2 fate pills to you. Shangguan Xiongfeng faced Duan Lingtian and said in a cold tone. His words carried a hint of mockery, as if he had already defeated Duan Lingtian. I'm afraid even if you want to return them, you won't be alive to do so. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, they heard Duan Lingtian's reply to Shangguan Xiongfeng. Then they were shocked to see, as Duan Lingtian's divine power soared, the law of space ultimacy was further revealed. The combination of the 3 ultimacies showed that he had surpassed Shangguan Xiongfeng in terms of comprehension of the law. Then, a divine sword that caused the crowd to tremble appeared in his hand. Together with the embryonic form of sword principle, it completely suppressed Shangguan Xiongfeng's attack in a crushing manner. It should be known that, now except for the power of the bloodline, Shangguan Xiongfeng did not hold back at all. How is this possible? Shangguan Xiongfeng's calm expression changed drastically. At the same time, his whole body was surrounded by a bloody light. The power of the bloodline that he did not intend to use burst out in an instant. However, even so, he was still at a disadvantage. Duan Lingtian had not made a move yet, but once he made a move, he was completely desperate. Shangguan Xiongfeng did not expect that Duan Lingtian had not used the law of space before. What was more unexpected was that Duan Lingtian had a high-grade divine weapon. Now the divine sword in Duan Lingtian's hand was a high-grade divine sword. Together with the embryonic form of sword principle and his law of space, it completely suppressed his attack. Run! At this moment, Shangguan Xiongfeng realized that he was no match for Duan Lingtian. If he continued to fight, he would definitely die. So he decisively wanted to break away from his attack and escape. Otherwise he would definitely die. However, his reaction was a little too slow. Whoosh! The sword radiance condensed by the spatial storm swept out through the high-grade divine sword. Once it was launched, it was like a meteor in the dark, eye-catching and difficult to blink. Boom! With a loud bang, the sword radiance shattered Shangguan Xiongfeng's attack. Then it was Shangguan Xiongfeng himself. When the sword radiance landed on his body, it instantly wreaked havoc. Ah! The moment before his body was blown into a bloody mist by the spatial storm, Shangguan Xiongfeng's miserable and pained cry reverberated through the surroundings. Everyone who heard it felt their scalps tingle, and their hairs stand on end. If you want to return it, you have to wait for me to accept it. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Duan Lingtian stood in the air that was filled with blood mist as he spoke in an indifferent tone. At this time, Duan Lingtian stood there, proud and aloof like a sword god. This. I'm not dreaming, am I? Senior apprentice brother Shangguan Xiongfeng died? Shangguan Xiongfeng was one of the top 3 core disciples of our Hidden Fog sect. Even the strongest core disciple didn't dare to say he could kill him. Yet he died at Duan Lingtian's hands? Doesn't that mean with the strength that Duan Lingtian has displayed, he can be ranked as the strongest core disciple of our Hidden Fog sect? He is also the strongest core disciple of our Hidden Fog sect. Don't think too much about it. Do you think that Elder Feng will let him go after he killed Shangguan Xiongfeng? Shangguan Xiongfeng was Elder Feng's most beloved disciple. Moreover, some people say that Shangguan Xiongfeng might be Elder Feng's grandson, the son of Elder Feng's illegitimate child. The surrounding crowd of spectating core disciples were dumbstruck by the scene before them for a short moment before returning to their senses, and the gazes they shot at Duan Lingtian with were filled with astonishment and disbelief. This Duan Lingtian, Zhang Jin was also stunned. With Duan Lingtian's current strength, even if he wanted to kill him, it would be as easy as killing a chicken. Although he was stronger than most of the inner sect elders, he was at most on par with Long Xiao. Compared to Shangguan Xiongfeng, he was slightly inferior. No, impossible. Long Xiao stood in the distance. His originally mocking smile had completely frozen, and was replaced with shock. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Long Xiao, you wanted to kill me just now. While Long Xiao was still in a daze, Duan Lingtian's gaze had already landed on him. The killing intent in Duan Lingtian's eyes caused Long Xiao to shiver. He immediately regained his composure and turned around, wanting to leave. His strength was inferior to Shangguan Xiongfeng's. Shangguan Xiongfeng had been killed by Duan Lingtian in a single move, so what could he do? Run. This was the only thought left in Long Xiao's mind. He only wanted to escape back to his master's place of cultivation. Then Duan Lingtian wouldn't be able to kill him. At the same time, he turned around and took out his master's soul bead. He was prepared to send a message to his master to save him. No. However, Duan Lingtian's figure had teleported to block his path, and the sword light that was swinging towards him made it impossible for him to send a message. Long Xiao didn't plan to fight with Duan Lingtian. Coupled with the fear in his heart, even if he hastily blocked Duan Lingtian's attack, it would be futile. Boom. When the spatial storm raged again, Long Xiao's body exploded into a bloody mist, following in Shangguan Xiongfeng's footsteps. When this scene appeared, the group of core disciples who had just regained their composure fell into a daze again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At the same time, several figures rushed to the scene. They were the first group of Hidden Fog sect elders and disciples who had received news of what had happened here. However, all they saw was the bloody mist floating down and Duan Lingtian's figure standing with his hands behind his back. Now the high-grade divine sword had been stored in Duan Lingtian's storage ring. What's going on? Didn't they say that Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao wanted to kill Duan Lingtian? Where are they? Ding Yiming, I received your message and came over. You aren't lying to me, right? The group of people who had just arrived were all dumbfounded. They looked left and right, but they didn't see Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao's figures. They all felt like they had been deceived. Duan Lingtian? Tang Chun also arrived. When he saw that Duan Lingtian was safe and sound, he couldn't help but sigh in relief. It seemed that his message had been effective. After a while, more and more people arrived. At this time, the group of core disciples who were originally present regained their senses. Faced with the doubts of the people they had called over, they first looked at the purple figure standing not far away in horror before they said in a hushed voice, Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were just killed by Duan Lingtian. Initially, I thought Duan Lingtian would be killed by Shangguan Xiongfeng, but I didn't expect him to kill Shangguan Xiongfeng instead. Long Xiao tried to escape, but Duan Lingtian chased after him and killed him with just one strike. I'm afraid today's matter will be difficult to resolve. Elder Feng and Elder Lei will definitely not let this matter rest. That's right. Although Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao wanted to kill Duan Lingtian first, and Duan Lingtian was only defending himself, everyone knows that things are not that simple. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame Duan Lingtian for not having any background. As the group of core disciples who were originally present spoke, the group of people who had just arrived was stunned again. Duan Lingtian killed Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. When Tang Chun heard the words of the core disciples, he was also stunned. When he looked at Duan Lingtian again, it was as if he was looking at a complete stranger. Didn't that mean that Duan Lingtian's current strength could only be stronger than his? Killing Shengguan Xiongfeng in a single move. Even he couldn't do that. Xiao'er, Xiongfeng. As the group of people that had just arrived were frightened, two angry old roars spread through the entire Hidden Fog Sect station like a thunderclap. Chapter 3740. As the two angry roars spread out, the entire Hidden Fog Sect station was in an uproar. Besides those who were in seclusion and had set up soundproof array formations, everyone else, no matter what they were doing, could clearly hear the two angry roars. Xiao'er, Xiongfeng? Could it be Shengguan Xiongfeng? While most people in the Hidden Fog Sect were still in a daze, there were already many figures that flew towards the core disciples' training area. These people were either high-level figures of the Hidden Fog Sect or disciples of the Hidden Fog Sect. Even the Hidden Fog Sect's second elder, Wu Fengyin, was among them. What's going on? Listening to Elder Feng and Elder Thunder's angry roars, did something happen to Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao? Originally, when Wu Fengyin received the news that Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao wanted to kill Duan Lingtian, he was very happy. He thought that Duan Lingtian would undoubtedly die, and that he would be able to save some effort. This was because he also planned to kill Duan Lingtian. It wasn't just because Duan Lingtian had killed his eldest disciple, Tu Feng, but also because he was worried that Duan Lingtian would grow in the future and kill him in order to eliminate him by the roots. Now he could still take the initiative, but in the future he could only be passive. Now that Duan Lingtian was dead, he might be killed in the future. Of these two choices, he undoubtedly chose the former. However, he still hadn't found a suitable opportunity to kill Duan Lingtian. When Long Xiao went to King's Descent City to look for Duan Lingtian, he had also paid attention to it. He had even personally rushed over, thinking that if Duan Lingtian appeared, he would personally kill him. However, Long Xiao had returned without success, and he had also returned without success. Until today, he thought it was good news. He had been waiting for news of Duan Lingtian's death to arrive. However, what he didn't expect was that what he had been waiting for were two of the four Grand Elders with the highest status and strongest strength in the Hidden Fog Sect. The roars of the two men not only contained anger, but also a trace of desolation of a white-haired person sending off a black-haired person. Therefore, he guessed that Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were most likely finished. What's going on? Even if that Duan Lingtian has already become a lower divine king, it's impossible for him to have the ability to kill Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. Could it be that someone helped him? But in the Hidden Fog Sect, who would dare to help him kill Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao? At this time, Wu Fengyin, the Hidden Fog Sect's second elder, was filled with confusion. But he was overjoyed. Once something happens to Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, it doesn't matter whether they were killed by Duan Lingtian or not. As long as they died because of Duan Lingtian won't be able to survive. Looks like I don't need to waste any effort to kill him. Wu Fengyin didn't care if Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were still alive. He only cared about Duan Lingtian's life and death. No one wished to have such an enemy with such astonishing potential. From the moment his eldest disciple, Tu Feng, was killed by Duan Lingtian, he and Duan Lingtian were destined to walk on opposite sides. At the core disciples' cultivation area, more and more people gathered from all over. In particular, after the two angry old roars spread throughout the Hidden Fog Sect station, the entire Hidden Fog Sect was in an uproar. Those who were originally able to sit still could no longer sit still. They all rushed over. Duan Lingtian? Tang Wuyan also arrived. She wanted to go over and look for Duan Lingtian, but she was blocked by Tang Chun. Girl, don't go over. Granduncle? Tang Wuyan looked at Tang Chun puzzled. Did you hear that voice just now? That was Elder Feng and Elder Lei's voices. Duan Lingtian killed Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao with his own hands. Tang Chun said in a low voice. What? Tang Wuyan was rushing over. Although the two voices were very sudden, she was worried about Duan Lingtian's safety, so she didn't think too much about it. Now, after hearing her granduncle's words, she was completely stunned. Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were both dead? Moreover, they were killed by Duan Lingtian with his own hands? Duan Lingtian actually had such strength? Junior brother Duan. At some unknown time, Wu Feng also arrived. He looked at Duan Lingtian from afar with a complicated expression. At the same time, he couldn't help but send a sound transmission. You shouldn't be so impulsive. Even if you came back, you shouldn't have made such a big fuss. Moreover, after you came back, what you should have done was to defeat either Long Xiao or Shangguan Xiongfeng, and then become Elder Yun's or Elder Wu's disciple. You were too impulsive. Now that you've killed Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, Elder Feng and Elder Lei will never let you go. How will you deal with this? Although I want to help you, there is nothing I can do. Wu Feng sighed. Many thanks for senior apprentice brother Wu Feng's concern. Duan Lingtian glanced at Wu Feng from afar. After greeting him with a sound transmission, he swept his eyes around. Now more and more people were arriving. Among them, there were some familiar faces. It's the sect master. Suddenly, there was a cry of alarm. Following that, everyone's eyes turned towards the person who spoke. They saw a figure slowly walking through the air in the distance. It was as if every inch of land was the same as the sky. In just a few steps, this figure appeared not too far away from Duan Lingtian, standing high in the air. Sect Master. Sect Master. At the same time, the group of people present bowed respectfully to the person who had just arrived. This newcomer was the Hidden Fog Sect's Sect Master, Qianyin. Of course, his original name wasn't Qianyin. It was just that every sect master of the Hidden Fog Sect didn't need to change their surname, but they had to change their name to Yin. This was the Hidden Fog Sect's tradition, and it was also a rule that the sect master of the Hidden Fog Sect couldn't violate. Perhaps this was just a joke that the founding ancestor of the Hidden Fog Sect made on a whim, but no one dared to violate this rule. Qianyin was a tall and handsome middle-aged man. He was dressed like a scholar, and he looked extraordinarily refined. The moment Duan Lingtian saw Qianyin, the sect master of the Hidden Fog Sect, he immediately thought of the dean of Skywind City's Hidden Fog Academy, Murong Suifeng. The feeling Qianyin gave him was very similar to Murong Suifeng. Even his temperament was similar. But what was different from Murong Suifeng was that Qianyin had a sharpness to him. Perhaps this was because he was the Hidden Fog Sect's sect master. You are Duan Lingtian? Qianyin looked at Duan Lingtian, his eyes calm. There was no joy or sorrow on his face. Greetings, sect master. Duan Lingtian calmly looked at Qianyin and nodded. This could be considered a greeting. You killed Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao? Qianyin asked. Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded. Why? Qianyin asked. They wanted to kill me. Am I not allowed to fight back? Duan Lingtian replied with a question. Hearing this, Qianyin's originally calm expression finally changed a little. He immediately turned his head around and shouted in a deep voice, except for the core disciples and inner sect elders, everyone else is to leave the core disciple cultivation area. The inner sect elders included the core elders, grand elders, and even protectors. Thus, Qianyin didn't go into too much detail. As soon as Qianyin finished speaking, even though the inner sect deacons, inner sect disciples, outer sect elders, outer sect deacons, and outer sect disciples who had rushed over to join in the fun were extremely unwilling, they still obediently retreated from the core disciple cultivation area. Even Tang Wuyan retreated unwillingly under Tang Chun's warning gaze. For a time, the number of people present decreased by a lot. Only a group of core disciples and inner sect elders remained. Sect leader, you asked them to leave. It seems like you don't intend to follow the sect rules and directly convict me of a crime? From the beginning until the end, Duan Lingtian watched the scene unfold with a calm expression. He didn't even stop those people from leaving. However, after those people left, he couldn't help but laugh. Duan Lingtian, I can't believe you saw this coming. Why did you still do that? It's impossible that you don't know that Shangguan Xiongfeng is Elder Feng's disciple, and Long Xiao is Elder Lei's disciple. Qianyin said in a deep voice as he looked at Duan Lingtian. However, at the same time, a hint of fear could be seen in the depths of his eyes when he looked at Duan Lingtian. Deep down, he was still afraid of Duan Lingtian's identity. This was especially so when Duan Lingtian displayed his heaven-defying strength, and Duan Lingtian actually had a prominent divine weapon in his possession. It had to be known that even a divine emperor-level force would only have a few prominent divine weapons without an artifact soul. For example, in their hidden fog sect, only he, the 4 Grand Elders, and a few others had prominent divine weapons. I'll say the same thing. Duan Lingtian looked at Qianyin calmly. They wanted to kill me, so I was purely defending myself. However, who would have thought that they would be so weak? They couldn't even take a single strike from me. When Duan Lingtian reached the end of his sentence, a hint of mockery could be seen on the corners of his mouth. Ooh. Almost at the instant Duan Lingtian's words left his mouth, 2 figures appeared silently before everyone's eyes, one after the other. One of them was a thin old man in blue clothes. His face was thin and withered, but his eyes were sharper than an ordinary person's. His entire body exuded a sharp aura, as if he could tear apart space with the slightest movement of his robes. The other person was a tall old man in purple robes. His purple robes were embroidered with countless bolts of lightning. His hair was snow white, but his appearance was no different from a middle-aged man's. His eyes seemed to flash with lightning as they locked onto Duan Lingtian. "Greetings, Elder Wind. Greetings, Elder Thunder." As the 2 old men appeared one after another, everyone present, with the exception of Sect Master Qianyin, bowed respectfully to them. Through the greetings of the crowd, it wasn't hard to confirm the identities of these 2 people. They were 2 of the Hidden Fog Sect's 4 Grand Elders, Elder Wind and Elder Thunder. At the same time, they were also the masters of Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. Elder Thunder had once sent a disciple to Duan Lingtian, intending to take him in as a disciple. But he was rejected by Duan Lingtian. This Duan Lingtian is dead for sure. In the crowd, the Hidden Fog Sect's 2nd Elder, Wu Fengyin, looked at the purple-clothed youth in front of him. His eyes and face were filled with schadenfreude. Chapter 3741. The Hidden Fog Sect's 4 highest elders represented wind, thunder, cloud, and mist. They represented the Hidden Fog Sect's strongest martial strength. Normally, if there wasn't anything important, they would rarely appear. Even for some of the inner sect elders and core disciples present, this was the first time they had seen the 2 highest elders appear at the same time. They should be worried about Duan Lingtian's background, so they should be lenient towards Duan Lingtian, right? Tang Chun looked at Elder Wind and Elder Thunder, and felt his scalp tingle. These 2 weren't existences that ordinary highest elders of the Hidden Fog Sect could compare with. They didn't need to worry about killing a person in the Hidden Fog Sect. Of course, if that person had some great background, killing them would threaten them, and even the Hidden Fog Sect, then they would definitely have some concerns. "You are Duan Lingtian?" The thin old man in blue clothes was Elder Wind. His sharp eyes emitted a calm light as they fell on Duan Lingtian. "Why did you kill my sect's disciple, Shengguan Xiongfeng?" Almost as soon as Elder Wind's voice fell, a powerful aura swept towards Duan Lingtian. In that instant, Duan Lingtian felt a strong pressure press down on him. But he clenched his teeth and withstood it. Duan Lingtian looked at Elder Wind without fear. He lightly said, "I didn't know Shengguan Xiongfeng. He blocked my path for no reason and stole my 2 revival good fortune pills. But today, when I spoke of this matter, he flew into a rage out of humiliation and wanted to kill me. I was just defending myself. I didn't think he would be so useless. I killed him with a single sword strike." As soon as Duan Lingtian spoke, Tang Chun's complexion changed. He never thought that Duan Lingtian would dare to speak like this in front of Elder Wind. And in that instant, everyone present could clearly feel a cold wind blow through the area. It was like the temperature of the entire core disciple area had dropped by a great deal. Elder Wind's blue clothes fluttered. He coldly said, "What evidence do you have that my sect's disciple, Shengguan Xiongfeng, stole your revival good fortune pills for no reason? Does a heart demon blood oath count?" Duan Lingtian took a deep look at Elder Feng as the corners of his mouth curled into a mocking smile. Heart demon blood oath. When Duan Lingtian said that, everyone present couldn't help but glance at Elder Feng cautiously. After all, Duan Lingtian had even brought out the heart demon blood oath. This meant that he was confident in everything he said, and wasn't afraid of the heart demon blood oath. In an instant, The cold wind at the scene became stronger and colder. Elder Feng's green robes were already fluttering in the wind. His eyes had also gradually turned sharp. Then why did you kill my disciple Long Xiao? I heard that. He didn't attack you at all. It was you who attacked him, and even killed him. When Elder Feng suddenly quietened down, Elder Lei opened his mouth. His voice was like a clap of thunder. Sound waves rolled out, condensed, and pierced into Duan Lingtian's ears, causing Duan Lingtian's eardrums to tremble. His body also involuntarily trembled. However, Duan Lingtian was still able to withstand it. If it were an ordinary lower god king, they might not have been able to withstand it. But he wasn't an ordinary lower god king. His physical fitness wasn't bad to begin with. In addition, he had fused with the Seven Orifices' exquisite sword, and cultivated the pine willow god tree's divine image. The strength of the god tree of life had also tempered his body to a certain extent. Thus, let alone a lower god king, even an ordinary god sovereign might not be able to compare with him. Long Xiao. Duan Lingtian's gaze shifted to Elder Lei. He faintly smiled. Elder Lei might not know, but several months ago, Long Xiao came to find me. He told me to kneel and walk 10 miles to your cultivation ground to beg you to become his disciple. There was no lack of threats in his words. I pretended to agree and left the Hidden Fog sect. When he learned that I had appeared in King Descent City, he went to King Descent City to search for my whereabouts. He stayed in King Descent City for a long time, waiting for me to show up. Today, as soon as I returned, he came looking for me, saying he wanted to kill me. Since he wants to kill me, do I have to leave him alive and give him a chance to kill me? Speaking of this, Duan Lingtian deeply looked at Elder Lei. I can take responsibility for everything I say. I can make a heart demon blood oath. As for whether it is true or false, I'm sure Elder Lei already knows. Duan Lingtian calmly said. As for Duan Lingtian's calmness, as it fell into Elder Feng and Elder Lei's eyes, it seemed a bit unfathomable. This was because unless Duan Lingtian had some great background, they couldn't figure out where Duan Lingtian's confidence came from. Trying to reason with them? That would depend on whether the other party had enough cards in their hands. If Duan Lingtian was only an ordinary Hidden Fog sect disciple without any background, then no matter how high his talent or perception was, they would have already killed him. They wouldn't have bothered with him at all. The reason they hadn't done anything yet was because they feared that Duan Lingtian had some great background behind him. Duan Lingtian. After Elder Feng and Elder Lei exchanged sound transmissions with the Hidden Fog sect's sect master, Qianyin stepped forward. He faintly glanced at Duan Lingtian. You killed Shengguan Xiongfeng and he tried to kill you. This is pardonable. But, although Long Xiao said he wanted to kill you, he didn't do anything. Perhaps that was just a joke. As for you, because of his words, you took the initiative to kill him. This is already a violation of the Hidden Fog sect's rules. So, after discussing this with Elder Feng and Elder Lei, we decided to imprison you. You will be imprisoned in Elder Feng's small world. Do you accept this punishment of mine? Qianyin, Elder Feng, and Elder Lei exchanged sound transmissions. Although the two of them wished they could kill Duan Lingtian as soon as possible, they still had to consider the overall situation. Thus, they decided to imprison Duan Lingtian, and not kill Duan Lingtian. Like this, if Duan Lingtian had some great background, they would naturally send a message to inform his elders to come save him. And if no one came to save Duan Lingtian, it wouldn't be too late to kill him after some time had passed and take revenge for Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. The onlooking core disciples and inner sect elders were all stunned. They had never expected this to be the result. Duan Lingtian had killed Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, but he was only imprisoned. As far as they were concerned, Duan Lingtian would be directly executed. How is this possible? The Hidden Fog sect's second elder, Wu Fengyin, had a look of disbelief. He subconsciously wanted to interrupt, but as he thought about how he didn't have the qualifications to interrupt in front of these three and question their decision, he immediately shut his mouth. Duan Lingtian was also stunned. He originally thought that since he had killed Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, Elders Feng and Lei would definitely kill him. At that time, the Linghu family's elders Heng and Huan would rescue him. He would then leave the Hidden Fog sect and join the Linghu family. But he never imagined that Elders Feng and Lei wouldn't kill him. Moreover, they only decided to imprison him. What was going on? Duan Lingtian couldn't figure it out. Now he carefully observed Elders Feng and Lei's eyes. It wasn't hard to discover that their eyes contained an icy killing intent aimed at him. Since they wanted to kill him, why didn't they make a move? Were they worried about something? Could it be that they had discovered that Elders Hung and Huan were hiding in the shadows? Were Elders Hung and Huan's concealment skills so poor? Duan Lingtian. As Duan Lingtian heard Qian Yin's words, he was startled. Before he could respond, a sound transmission entered his ears from behind Qian Yin. It was Tang Chun's sound transmission. The sect master and Grand Elders Feng and Lei have made this decision because they want to give you a chance to inform your elders. If your elders can make them lower their heads, they will definitely let you go. If they don't fear the background behind you, then you will be mercilessly killed by them. So, hurry up and inform your elders. These were Tang Chun's exact words. Elders? What elders? Duan Lingtian was startled. Elder Tang Chun, what do you mean? He didn't respond for a moment. Tang Chun was infuriated when he heard this. Duan Lingtian, it's already come to this. Don't hold back anymore. I've already obtained news from the Zhong family. Your background isn't ordinary. In the past at Skywind City's Zhou family auction, the young girl who acted intimately with you had a divine emperor powerhouse protecting her. According to what Vice Sect Master Morong said, that divine emperor powerhouse's strength is likely no weaker than any of our Hidden Fog sects Feng, Lei Yun and Wu Great Elders. Previously, when I found out that Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao wanted to kill you, I immediately looked for Vice Sect Leader Morong and asked him to send a message to the sect leader to inform Elder Feng and Elder Lei to stop them from killing you. But I never imagined that not only were you not killed by them, but you even managed to kill them moreover, in such a short period of time. As Tang Chun spoke, he was speechless. He had been worried that Duan Lingtian would be killed, but now it seemed that he shouldn't have been worried about Duan Lingtian, but Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. So that's how it is. After Tang Chun's sound transmission, Duan Lingtian was finally enlightened. So the reason Elder Feng, Elder Lei, and even the Hidden Fog sect master Qianyin hadn't executed him was because of the young girl he had met in Skywind City who called him Big Brother, Duan Xiaoyu. It was the same as the Zhong family. The three high-level figures of the Hidden Fog sect all feared Duan Xiaoyu's background. If they knew that I only met Duan Xiaoyu by chance and didn't know what her background was, perhaps they wouldn't hesitate to kill me. Duan Lingtian thought to himself. Duan Lingtian, this is the sect's punishment for you. Are you satisfied? Seeing Duan Lingtian ignore him for a long time, the Hidden Fog sect master Qian Yin's complexion turned ugly. He even reminded him, this is the sect's bottom line. Duan Lingtian looked at Qian Yin once more. His eyes were indifferent as he calmly said, Sect Master, from today onwards, I am no longer a disciple of the Hidden Fog sect. So I, Duan Lingtian, refuse the punishment your Hidden Fog sect has decided to give me. Imprisoned in Elder Feng's small world? What a joke! He naturally wouldn't agree to such a thing. He didn't have a background that Qian Yin, Elder Feng, and Elder Lei would fear. Once he was imprisoned, even the Linghu family's Hung Huan elders wouldn't be able to rescue him. Chapter 3742. He refused. As Duan Lingtian spoke, the entire audience fell deathly silent. The surrounding core disciples and inner sect elders only thought that Duan Lingtian didn't know what was good for him. But at the same time, they wondered why the sect master didn't execute Duan Lingtian. It was fine if the sect master didn't execute Duan Lingtian, but why didn't Elder Feng and Elder Lei express their stance? Who could tell them what was going on? Duan Lingtian. Tang Chun's complexion changed. He never imagined that Duan Lingtian would directly refuse the light punishment that their Hidden Fog sect master had given him. Moreover, he even threatened to no longer be a disciple of the Hidden Fog sect from this day forth. Wasn't this the same as publicly leaving the Hidden Fog sect? Just as the Hidden Fog sect's second elder Wu Fengyin and the other Hidden Fog Sect disciples thought that the Hidden Fog Sect master would be enraged by Duan Lingtian's words. They saw Qianyin calmly look at Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian, whether or not you want to leave the Hidden Fog Sect is your freedom. But even if you aren't a disciple of our Hidden Fog Sect today, it is impossible for our Hidden Fog Sect to do nothing after killing one of our disciples. Imprisoning you is only a small punishment. Whether it is now or when you enter Elder Feng's small world, we will allow you to communicate with the outside world. You can ask your elders to come and resolve this matter. If we are satisfied, we can let you go. The current Qianyin only thought that Duan Lingtian didn't understand his good intentions. The reason he did this was because he didn't want to offend the influence behind Duan Lingtian. The second reason was because he wanted to take the Hidden Fog Sect's face into consideration. But it was impossible for him to let Duan Lingtian go like this. Moreover, Elder Feng and Elder Lei wouldn't be willing. Elder Feng and Elder Lei could be considered to have compromised now. And the reason they compromised was because they feared the influence behind Duan Lingtian. If the power behind Duan Lingtian was strong enough to scare them, they would let Duan Lingtian leave unharmed. If the influence behind Duan Lingtian couldn't threaten their Hidden Fog Sect, but they still feared him, then they would ask for compensation. If the strength behind Duan Lingtian was something their Hidden Fog Sect didn't need to fear, they would kill Duan Lingtian without hesitation. And now, as the Hidden Fog Sect's sect master Qianyin spoke out, the surrounding people were suddenly enlightened. This Duan Lingtian, it seems his background isn't small. As I said, even if sect leader was willing to let this Duan Lingtian off, Elder Feng and Elder Lei would definitely not let this matter go. However, they have indeed let this Duan Lingtian off for the time being. Just now, I couldn't figure out the reason even after racking my brains. Now that sect leader has spoken, I finally understand. They are afraid of Duan Lingtian's background. Isn't this Duan Lingtian from a Devata realm? What kind of background does he have in the Mystic Handle Land? Don't forget, it's not just the Mystic Handle Land. Even in the various divine realms, there are many forces formed by people from Devata realms. There are even God Emperor and godly venerable level forces. To be able to make sect leader afraid, and make Elder Feng and Elder Lei temporarily let go of the grudge of killing their disciple, it seems like Duan Lingtian's background isn't simple. Now the surrounding Hidden Fog Sect's core disciples and inner sect elders were enlightened. They finally understood why Elder Feng and Elder Lei and the sect leader hadn't executed Duan Lingtian. As for the Hidden Fog Sect's second elder, Wu Fengyin's expression changed again and again. Now he understood as well. However, it was also because of this that his heart turned cold. This Duan Lingtian actually had a background that made the Hidden Fog Sect's three elders fear. One had to know that the three elders of the Hidden Fog Sect could represent the entire Hidden Fog Sect. In other words, Duan Lingtian's background was enough to make the entire Hidden Fog Sect fear him, and his disciple Tu Feng had become a life and death enemy with such a person. Now Wu Fengyin's heart was in a panic. What to do? What to do? If this Duan Lingtian left the Hidden Fog Sect alive, and wanted to deal with him in the future, wouldn't he die without a doubt? Or should he leave the Hidden Fog Sect, leave the Tunglung province, change his name, and find a place to stay? Thinking of this, Wu Fengyin made a decision in his heart. At this moment, he no longer had any thoughts of being enemies with Duan Lingtian. He only wanted to hide and avoid Duan Lingtian looking for him to settle accounts. Duan Lingtian naturally didn't know what Wu Fengyin was thinking. In fact, the current him had already thrown Wu Fengyin, the honorable master of the inner sect disciple Tu Feng, to the back of his mind. There is no need. Duan Lingtian calmly looked at the Hidden Fog Sect's sect master Qianyin. He lightly said, "Sect master Qianyin, you are well aware of the ins and outs of this matter. Today, if I were killed by them, what would happen to them if I didn't have a background?" As Duan Lingtian spoke, the corners of his lips curled up in a mocking smile. "I'm afraid that only if I have a background that the Hidden Fog Sect and Elder Feng and Elder Lei fear will your Hidden Fog Sect be willing to hand them over and pay with their lives for me? If I were only an ordinary Hidden Fog Sect disciple, even if they violated the Hidden Fog Sect's rules and killed me, the Hidden Fog Sect wouldn't execute them, right?" Duan Lingtian's mocking smile deepened. The toughness of his attitude and the confidence he had was shocking. As for Duan Lingtian's words, many of the inner sect elders bitterly smiled. This was because they knew that Duan Lingtian was speaking the truth. Even if most of them were killed by Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, the sect wouldn't make them pay with their lives. After all, the two of them had a good honorable master. Imprisoning you is our hidden fog sect's bottom line. Qian Yin's eyes flashed with a cold light as he spoke. This was also what Qian Yin had discussed with Elder Feng and Elder Lei. It was impossible for them to allow Duan Lingtian to leave unscathed. After all, up until now, they had only heard rumors that Duan Lingtian had a great background. They hadn't confirmed it yet. If Duan Lingtian didn't have a great background, then wouldn't it be a great loss for them to let Duan Lingtian go? Thus, they all wanted to imprison Duan Lingtian first. If Duan Lingtian really did have some sort of background, then they could find someone to save him. If he didn't have any background, then it wouldn't be too late to execute him. Sectmaster, why are you speaking so much nonsense with him? Elder Lei opened his mouth, his voice filled with impatience. Just let Elder Feng capture him, and send him into the small world in his body. If he resists and isn't willing to enter Elder Feng's small world, then Elder Feng can seal his cultivation, and imprison him in Elder Feng's cultivation area. Let's leave this matter to his elders, said Lin Yin. As Elder Lei's voice fell, Elder Feng's robes suddenly fluttered. Then, a terrifying cold wind swept out from his body, howling towards Duan Lingtian. At the same time, Elder Feng lifted his hand. He casually waved his hand, planning to bind Duan Lingtian and bring him in front of him. Facing Elder Feng's attack, Duan Lingtian had an indifferent expression, as if he didn't see anything. When this scene fell into the eyes of everyone, they naturally thought that he had been scared silly. This can already be considered the best ending. There's no need to worry about that girl Wu Yin. Seeing this, Tang Chun let out a sigh of relief. This was because he felt that as long as Duan Lingtian called over the elders behind him, he would be able to regain his freedom. For a short period of time, even if Duan Lingtian was imprisoned, their hidden fog sect's sect master and the two highest elders, Elder Feng and Elder Lei, wouldn't dare to rashly move against him. Bang! With the sudden sound of a storm, Elder Feng's attack was interrupted before Duan Lingtian could even touch Duan Lingtian. Who is it? Elder Feng's complexion changed. As for Elder Lei, he had already shouted out. As for the hidden fog sect's sect master, Qian Yin, he looked around with a dignified expression. Haha! The hidden fog sect has fallen to the point where several old fellows are bullying a junior. With a burst of laughter, a figure as fat as a ball stepped down from the air. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of Duan Lingtian. Linghu Huan. Seeing the fat old man in front of them, Elder Feng and Elder Lei's complexions changed. They subconsciously looked into the sky. This was because according to their understanding of this fat old man, it was impossible for him to appear by himself. As for the hidden fog sect's sect master, Qian Yin, everyone from the hidden fog sect followed Elder Feng and Elder Lei's gazes and looked into the sky. At the same time, they also saw the figure that suddenly appeared in the sky. Compared to the fat old man who appeared a moment ago, this old man was incomparably thin. He stood there, his aura restrained. If they hadn't seen him with their own eyes, they wouldn't have noticed when he had appeared. The thin old man's figure flickered, and he arrived beside the fat old man, standing shoulder to shoulder with him. Linghu Hung. Elder Feng's and Elder Lei's eyes turned vigilant. Why are you here? You trespassed into our hidden fog sect. Are you trying to incite conflict between our hidden fog sect and your Linghu family? Linghu Hung? Just now, Elder Lei seemed to call that fat old man Linghu Huan. Could he be the Linghu family's Hung and Huan elders? The Linghu family's Hung and Huan elders? Those are the two strongest people in the Linghu family. They are twins, and once they join forces, it is said that even the four grand elders of our hidden fog sect, Feng, Lei, Yin and Wu, would find it difficult to defeat them. Why would they be here? Moreover, for them to appear at this time, could they be here for Duan Lingtian? Could it be that Duan Lingtian's background is the Linghu family? That's impossible. If Duan Lingtian is a member of the Linghu family, then why would he enter our hidden fog sect? Isn't it because he has nothing better to do? After learning the identities of the two old men who appeared, the core disciples and inner sect elders couldn't help but whisper amongst themselves. Ling Hu Hung and Ling Hu Huan, these two people were even more famous than the Hidden Fog Sect's Grand Elders Feng, Lei Yin and Wu Qi. The fat old man Ling Hu Huan looked at Elder Feng and Elder Lei and sneered with disdain. If we weren't here, I'm afraid our Ling Hu family would have been imprisoned by your Hidden Fog Sect today. Chapter 3743. We are members of the Ling Hu family. Want free to see the whole edition? Please Baidu search product equals book equals network. Following Ling Hu Huan's words, the gazes of all the people present, as if they had discussed beforehand, all gathered on the purple figure behind Ling Hu Huan and Ling Hu Hung. This Duan Ling Tian. Is he really a member of the Ling Hu family? Are you joking? If he is a member of the Ling Hu family, why would he come to our Hidden Fog Sect? That's right. Even if the Ling Hu family wanted to place a spy in our Hidden Fog Sect, it's impossible for them to send such a monstrous genius like Duan Ling Tian, right? Isn't that the same as sending a lamb to the tiger's den? Duan Ling Tian's talent and perception were obvious to all. In fact, everyone present from the Hidden Fog Sect knew that with the talent and perception Duan Ling Tian displayed, not only could he compare with their Hidden Fog Sect's Shui Haichuan from 10,000 years ago, but he could even be said to be superior to Shui Haichuan. As for the disheartened Hidden Fog Sect's second elder Wu Fomin, his originally dim eyes brightened once more. If Duan Ling Tian was a member of the Ling Hu family, then there was no need for him to leave the Hidden Fog Sect and hide. The Ling Hu family was only a divine emperor-level influence on the same level as the Hidden Fog Sect. It wasn't enough for him to leave his home. This Duan Ling Tian is a member of your Ling Hu family? Elder Feng and Elder Lei's expressions changed at the same time. Elder Lei asked in a deep voice. His voice was like muffled thunder, making those who heard it feel oppressed. Just by listening to his voice, one could hear Elder Thunder's current mood. That's right. Ling Hu Huan lightly said. So we will take him away now. I presume you don't have any objections? Almost at the instant Ling Hu Huan's words left his mouth, frightening divine power swept out from Elder Feng and Elder Lei's bodies. It fused with the law of wind and the law of lightning. The power of wind and lightning was fully displayed, and they were ready to attack at any time. You are all smart people. Seeing Elder Wind and Elder Thunder like this, Ling Hu Huan's complexion didn't change, but his tone became much colder. You should know that even if your Hidden Fog Sect's Cloud Mist and Cloud Mist were here, it would still be impossible for them to stop us two brothers. Moreover, do you believe that even if Cloud Mist and Cloud Mist were here, we would still be able to protect Duan Ling Tian and kill some of your Hidden Fog Sect people? As Ling Hu Huan spoke, he tilted his head and swept his eyes over the crowd of Hidden Fog Sect disciples and elders. As they saw this, their complexions changed and they hurriedly drew back, putting some distance between them. Even Elder Feng's and Elder Lei's faces changed slightly. Ling Hu Huan. The Hidden Fog Sect's sect master Qian Yin had an ugly expression as he said, Does your Ling Hu family want to start a war with my Hidden Fog Sect? He naturally knew that the fat old man in front of him wasn't boasting. If he joined forces with Ling Hu Hung, they could easily take away Duan Ling Tian. Moreover, as long as they wanted to, they could even kill many of the Hidden Fog Sect people present as they left. Not to mention that their Hidden Fog Sect only had 3 Divine Emperor powerhouses present. Even if the 2 Cloud Mist Sect Grand Elders were present, they would at most be able to protect a few Hidden Fog Sect elders and disciples. They wouldn't be able to protect everyone, and they wouldn't be able to keep each other here. Start a war? Ling Hu Huan smiled. Good. Then when the time comes, our Ling Hu family can consider cooperating with the 10,000 Demon Sect and wrestle with your Hidden Fog Sect. Once Ling Hu Huan said this, Qian Yin's complexion changed. But he didn't continue to speak ruthlessly. Little fellow, let's go. In front of the Hidden Fog Sect people, Ling Hu Huan took out the Divine Emperor level flying ship they came on. Then he and Ling Hu Hung entered together with Duan Ling Tian. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared before the Hidden Fog Sect people. From beginning to end, whether it was the Hidden Fog Sect's sect master Qian Yin, Elder Wind, or Elder Thunder, none of them dared to act rashly. This was because they knew that although the Linghu family's Linghu Huan seemed like a good-natured fatty, the truth was that he was a madman with a smile on his face. Once they attacked, he really would dare to attack the other disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. Among the core disciples present, there was no lack of other disciples. One of their disciples had already died, so they didn't want to lose another. Thus, they could only plan for the long term. Sect Master, can the sect protecting array formation stop them? Elder Thunder looked at Qianyin and asked in a low voice. Listening to his tone, it wasn't hard to tell that he was suppressing his anger. There's no other way. Qianyin shook his head. Our Hidden Fog sect isn't good at laying down arrays to begin with. While this sect protecting array formation can easily discover them, it's impossible to stop them. Moreover, their Divine Emperor level flying ship has already flown away from our Hidden Fog sect station. Qianyin's tone was filled with helplessness. Damn it! Elder Thunder's complexion paled and became extremely ugly. That damn fatty, he is too arrogant. Elder Wind, Elder Thunder, let's talk somewhere else. Qianyin took a deep breath. Even he, the Hidden Fog sect's sect master, felt an enormous humiliation just now. His heart was filled with anger. But no matter how angry he was, it was useless. After all, the other party wasn't an ordinary person. I've already told Elder Cloud and Elder Wu not to come here. I told them to wait for us at my cultivation area. Just now, when the Linghu family's Hung and Huan elders appeared, Qianyin, the Hidden Fog sect's sect master, had immediately contacted the other two highest elders of the Hidden Fog sect who were equally famous as Elder Wind and Elder Thunder. Elder Cloud and Elder Wu. Originally, Elder Cloud and Elder Wu had come here. But now, the two old fellows of the Linghu family had already left with Duan Lingtian. It was too late for them to come here. Thus, he had them make a temporary detour to his cultivation area. However, after Elder Wind and Elder Thunder left, Qianyin, the Hidden Fog sect's sect master, solemnly swept his eyes over everyone present. Regarding today's matters, what should be said and what shouldn't be said, you should all be clear in your hearts. If I find out who is spouting nonsense, don't blame me for being impolite. Although the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples and inner sect elders all nodded in agreement, Qianyin knew that his words weren't enough to stop them from speaking. What he said was merely a formality. The Hidden Fog sect's four highest elders had the highest status, and were also the strongest. Elder Cloud was a middle-aged man. He was slightly fat and his entire body was covered in jewels. His clothes were made of silk and satin, making him look like a nouveau riche from the mortal world. As for Elder Wu, he had an otherworldly appearance. He had white hair and a ruddy complexion. His hair was as white as snow, and his eyebrows and beard were white. But his face was that of a young man. You two fellows came too slowly. That person has already run away. Seeing the two of them, Elder Thunder grumbled in a low voice. Even if the two of us arrived, would we have been able to stop those two old fellows from the Linghu family? Elder Cloud shook his head. But why would those two old fellows from the Linghu family suddenly come to our Hidden Fog sect, and even take away Duan Lingtian? On the way here, he had learned the ins and outs of this matter from the Hidden Fog sect's sect master Qianyin. That Duan Lingtian, is he really someone from the Linghu family? Elder Cloud was a bit puzzled. He had long heard of Duan Lingtian. After Duan Lingtian became a core disciple, he had even thought of accepting him as a disciple. But because Elder Thunder had been rejected, he didn't ask for a rebuff. Today, when he heard that Duan Lingtian had used his own strength to kill Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, he was shocked. He never imagined that Duan Lingtian would possess such strength right after breaking through to the lower God King realm. Even Xue Haichuan from 10,000 years ago couldn't accomplish this when he had just broken through to the lower God King realm. Now he couldn't figure it out. If such a character was someone from the Linghu family, why would they come to their Hidden Fog sect? A spy? Was the Linghu family so bold as to send such a genius to be a spy? Moreover, Duan Lingtian didn't seem like a spy at all. If he was a spy, he could have pretended to be Elder Thunder's disciple. That would have made it easier for him to be a spy for the Linghu family. I don't think so. Elder Cloud shook his head. According to Sect Master, That Duan Lingtian once had a close relationship with a young girl. And according to Morong Suifeng, that young girl's God Emperor powerhouse shouldn't be any weaker than the four of us. In the Linghu family, apart from that mysterious second miss, there isn't a second female powerhouse whose strength can compare to ours. Moreover, the Morong family doesn't have a young girl of that age with such a noble status. Elder Cloud nodded his head at Elder Cloud's analysis. That young girl can't be someone from the Linghu family. As for Duan Lingtian, we can't be sure if he has a great background. We only know that he and the young girl are very close, as if they are siblings. The Hidden Fog sect Master Qian Yin said in a deep voice. I will find Morong Suifeng to continue following up on this matter. But now that Duan Lingtian has gone to the Linghu family, it will be extremely difficult to dig out his background. He killed my disciple. Unless he has a background that can make me retreat, even the Linghu family won't be able to protect him. Elder Thunder's eyes flashed coldly as he said in a deep voice. At this moment, Elder Feng's eyes gleamed coldly as well. We still have to find an opportunity to capture Duan Lingtian and imprison him. He'll tell us himself if he has any background or not. If he doesn't have a background, then we'll just kill him to comfort Xiongfeng's soul in heaven. Whether it was Elder Feng or Elder Lei, they couldn't be as calm and collected as Elder Cloud, Elder Wu or Qianin. After all, the one who died this time was their disciple. Old Lei. Elder Feng looked at Elder Lei and said indifferently, if you want to avenge your disciple Long Xiao, how about the two of us take turns going to Linghu City every once in a while? Elder Lei's eyes lit up. You mean, we will go to Linghu City and find an opportunity to capture that Duan Lingtian? That's right. Elder Feng nodded, a cold light flashing in his eyes. I don't believe he can hide in the Linghu family's mansion forever. I also don't believe that the Linghu family's divine emperor can stay by his side and protect him forever. Lingtian War Sovereign. Chapter 3744. Is there any meaning in doing this? Elder Yun shook his head when he heard Elder Feng's words. You've captured Duan Lingtian, because you can't stop him from sending messages. Once he sends a message to the Linghu clan, won't they know it's you who captured him? At that time, the Linghu family will definitely come knocking on our door, Elder Yun said. If they come looking for him, do we have to return him to them? Elder Win didn't comment. We just need to ignore them. Duan Lingtian can't see them and they can't save him. Do you think they can use our Hidden Fog sect disciples to threaten us? If they really dare to touch our Hidden Fog sect disciples, I don't mind paying a visit to the Linghu family. Elder Wind coldly sneered. That's right. Elder Thunder nodded. Moreover, we can renege on our debt and say we never saw Duan Lingtian. As for why Duan Lingtian said we captured him, perhaps he was threatened by someone? Perhaps he wants to slander us and incite conflict between our Hidden Fog sect and the Linghu family? Hearing Elder Zephyr's words, whether it was Elder Yun, Elder Wu, or the Hidden Fog sect's sect master Qianin, they all felt their obsession. It was clear they couldn't stop them. At this moment, Elder Wu, who had been silent all this while, finally spoke. He looked at Elder Feng and Elder Lei and said, I have to remind both of you. If you don't have absolute confidence, don't think about killing Duan Lingtian. It's fine if this news doesn't spread out, but once it does, if there really is a colossus behind Duan Lingtian, it won't just be you who will suffer a loss, but the entire Hidden Fog sect. Moreover, even if you have the confidence to kill him without exposing yourselves, you can't act rashly. Otherwise, as long as you aren't an idiot, anyone will suspect you. As Elder Wu spoke to hear, his tone became heavier. If you want to act soon, find a chance to capture Duan Lingtian. But you absolutely cannot kill him. Old Wu, you aren't the only one who is worried about the Hidden Fog sect. Old Feng and I are too. Elder Lei glanced at Elder Wu and said, Otherwise, do you think we wouldn't have attacked him today? The one who was killed by him was the disciple we doted on the most. Furthermore, didn't you hear me say that I would capture Duan Lingtian and not kill him? If I were to make a move, as long as that Duan Lingtian leaves the Linghu family mansion and doesn't have a God King by his side, I'm confident that I can kill him without anyone discovering that I'm the one who killed him. As he spoke, Elder Lei's tone was filled with pride and confidence. It's decided then. Seeing the elders arguing, Qianyin, the sect master of the Hidden Fog sect, quickly stepped forward to smooth things over. We'll do as Elder Lei says and capture Duan Lingtian, not kill him. If we can confirm that Duan Lingtian has no other background besides the Linghu family, we'll kill him to comfort the souls of Elder Feng and Elder Lei's 2 disciples in heaven. Granduncle, where's Duan Lingtian? Tang Wuyan was waiting outside the core disciples' cultivation area with the other inner sect disciples. When he saw the group of inner sect elders come out, he immediately looked for his granduncle, Tang Chun. Tang Chun looked at the worried Tang Wuyan and said, "Don't worry. Duan Lingtian is fine." "Then where is he?" Tang Wuyan asked. "He was taken away by the Linghu family," Tang Chun said. "The Linghu family?" Tang Wuyan was stunned. How did he get involved with the Linghu family again? Could it be that the sect master and the others asked the Linghu family to kill Duan Lingtian? Tang Wuyan's expression changed again as she guessed. Tang Chun was speechless. "Girl, didn't I tell you that Duan Lingtian is fine? What are you thinking? The Linghu family took Duan Lingtian away to save Duan Lingtian. Otherwise, even if Duan Lingtian didn't die now, he would definitely be imprisoned until his elders came to save him. Now that the Linghu family took him away, there's no need to trouble his elders." Tang Chun was almost certain that Duan Lingtian had an extraordinary background. It wasn't just because of the young girl who appeared at the Zhou family's auction in Wind City, but also because of the talent and comprehension that Duan Lingtian had displayed. In his opinion, it was very normal for a monstrous genius like Duan Lingtian to have an extraordinary background. Why would the Linghu family suddenly appear there? Tang Wuyan had too many questions in her mind. After Tang Chun told her the ins and outs of the matter, she finally understood. It was the Linghu family's elders Heng and Huan who took him away. But why would they say that Duan Lingtian is a member of the Linghu family? When did Duan Lingtian join the Linghu family? Tang Wuyan frowned. Tang Chun didn't say anything when he heard Tang Wuyan's words. He only had one guess in his mind, and it was inconvenient to tell Tang Wuyan about it. Could it be Linghu Chuin? However, when Tang Wuyan spoke again, he was taken aback because Tang Wuyan had the same idea as him. After the Heng and Huan elders took Duan Lingtian away, he had been racking his brains to think of the connection between Duan Lingtian and the Linghu family. First of all, since Duan Lingtian came to the Hidden Fog sect through Wind City's Hidden Fog Academy, it meant that he didn't have any connection with the Linghu family. Otherwise, he could have just gone directly to the Linghu family. With his talent and comprehension, the Linghu family couldn't give him less than what the Hidden Fog sect could give him. Then, if he really wanted to talk about the connection between Duan Lingtian and the Linghu family, it seemed that the only thing that happened in Junlin City was the incident that happened last time. Duan Lingtian publicly courted the Linghu family's #1 beauty, Linghu Chuin. This time he came back to kill Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. I'm afraid he planned it all out long ago. As for his escape route, he has already calculated it all. And his confidence comes from the Linghu family's Heng and Huan elders. Him joining the Linghu family should be related to Linghu Chuin. Of course, his willingness to join the Linghu family shouldn't be just because of Linghu Chuin, but also because he wants to kill Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. If he is still a disciple of the Hidden Fog sect, even if he doesn't die after killing Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, he will be imprisoned and wait for the elders of the faction behind him to come and save him. These were all Tang Chun's thoughts. Girl, forget about him. He is not suitable for you. When Tang Chun came back to his senses and saw the desolate expression on Tang Wuyan's face, he sighed and advised, "You and he are not people of the same world." When Duan Lingtian left the Hidden Fog sect with the Linghu family's Heng and Huan elders, he was naturally in a carefree mood. Whether it was Shengguan Xiongfeng or Long Xiao, they were both like mountains that pressed down on his chest, often suffocating him. But now, they were both killed by him, so his mood was naturally smoothed out. Little fellow, you are truly ruthless. Not only did you kill that old madman's disciple, Shengguan Xiongfeng, but you also killed that Hidden Fog sect's Elder Lei's disciple Long Xiao. Within the Divine Emperor level flying ship, Ling Huan looked at Duan Lingtian. He clicked his tongue and said, I'm afraid your name will be recorded in the annals of the Hidden Fog sect. You will be known as unprecedented, unsurpassed. Killing one is the same as killing two. Duan Lingtian faintly smiled. Moreover, is there a difference between killing one and killing two? Duan Lingtian's principle of conduct had always been that if others didn't offend him, he wouldn't offend them. But if others offended him, he would return the favor tenfold or 100-fold. In the past, Shangguan Xiongfeng had stolen 2 revival good fortune pills from him for no apparent reason, causing him to walk the path of becoming a divine king. But that was fine. But today, Shangguan Xiongfeng had exposed his past actions. Shangguan Xiongfeng flew into a rage out of humiliation and wanted to kill him. The moment Shangguan Xiongfeng attacked, Duan Lingtian had already sentenced him to death in his heart. As for Long Xiao, last time, when Duan Lingtian perfunctorily dealt with Long Xiao, he knew that he had offended him. And today, as soon as he returned, Long Xiao came knocking on his door, wanting to kill him. To him, this sort of person was a great hidden danger. You want to kill me? I'm sorry, but in order to protect myself, I can only make the first move. You are decisive. Little fellow, your future is limitless. As Ling Huan heard Duan Lingtian's words, he didn't know how to respond for a long time. Finally, he lifted his fat right hand and gave Duan Lingtian a thumbs up. They don't dare to kill you. Suddenly, Ling Huang, who had been silent all this while, looked at Duan Lingtian and spoke. That's right. At this time, Ling Huan also remembered something. He revealed a curious expression and asked, Duan Lingtian, according to my understanding of the Hidden Fog sect's elders Wind and Thunder, they aren't good people. If it were an ordinary Hidden Fog sect disciple, no matter how high their talent or perception was, they would have killed their sect's disciple to avenge their disciple. But they didn't kill you. Why? The curiosity in Ling Huan's eyes became increasingly strong. Whether it was Ling Huan or Ling Huang, although they had been hiding in the dark since early on, they could only watch from afar. It was difficult for them to hear what was happening at the scene. Thus, they only saw that the Hidden Fog sect's elders Wind and Thunder didn't kill Duan Lingtian. They didn't hear the whispers of the Hidden Fog sect's elders and disciples. They didn't know that elders Wind and Thunder feared Duan Lingtian's background, and thus didn't dare to kill Duan Lingtian. Even later, when the Hidden Fog sect's elder Wind attacked Duan Lingtian, he did so in an extremely gentle manner. Let alone killing him, it was more like he didn't want to injure Duan Lingtian. He only wanted to capture Duan Lingtian. However, at that time, Ling Huan couldn't help but appear. I'm afraid that my little sister will cause trouble for them after she dies. Duan Lingtian said unhurriedly in the face of Elder Hung and Elder Huan's curiosity. At the same time, the young girl named Duan Xiaoyu he met in Skywind City appeared in his mind once more. Who exactly was she? Not only did she have an older brother who looked like him, but she was also very friendly, as if she really treated him as her older brother. Chapter 3745. Duan Lingtian thought of Duan Xiaoyu and wondered about her background. Whether it was Ling Huang or Ling Huan, they were both stunned by Duan Lingtian's response. I'm afraid that my little sister will cause trouble for them after they kill me. They understood what Duan Lingtian meant. Duan Lingtian's meaning was that the Hidden Fog sect's elders Feng and Lei didn't dare to kill him because they were afraid that his little sister would take revenge for him. From this, they understood the main point. The little sister Duan Lingtian spoke of wasn't an ordinary person. What a joke. How could someone who could make the Hidden Fog sect's elders Feng and Lei feel fear, and not even dare to take revenge on the people who killed their disciple right under their noses be an ordinary person? Duan Lingtian, who is your little sister? When Ling Huan looked at Duan Lingtian again, his fat face was solemn and serious. To be able to make the Hidden Fog sect's elders Feng and Lei feel fear and forcefully suppress the hatred of their disciple, if it were him, he would also feel fear. Faced with Ling Huan's question, Duan Lingtian only smiled. Elder Huan, you will know in the future. It wasn't hard for Ling Huan to understand that Duan Lingtian was evading the question. But he didn't point it out and didn't ask again. He could see that Duan Lingtian didn't plan on speaking. If he continued to ask, he would just be asking for a snub. However, whether it was Ling Hu Huan or Ling Hu Hung, when they looked at Duan Lingtian again, their gazes were very different from before. In the past, in their eyes, Duan Lingtian was a junior with astonishing talent and perception. But now, they realized that Duan Lingtian had a background that they didn't know about. Moreover, that background was something that even the hidden fog sect's elders Feng and Lei feared. Junior apprentice brother Duan. When Duan Lingtian and Ling Hu Huan stopped talking and sat cross-legged on the side of the ship with their eyes closed to rest, a transmission entered his ears. The person who sent the message was none other than Wu Feng, who had entered the divine palace and divine treasury left behind by divine emperor Qin Wu. After returning to the hidden fog sect, he had already met with Wu Feng. However, as he questioned the hidden fog sect's sect master Qian Yin in front of the hidden fog sect disciples, Qian Yin didn't seem to want too many people to join in on the fun. He bluntly ordered the group of inner sect disciples to leave. At that time, Wu Feng stepped down. Therefore, Wu Feng wasn't too clear about what happened next. Only when Wu Feng knew that everyone had left did he send a message to Duan Lingtian. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," Duan Lingtian replied. "Thank you for your concern, senior brother Wu Feng." "Are you okay?" Wu Feng, on the other hand, was a little dumbfounded. "Junior brother Duan, Elder Feng and Elder Lei let you go just like that?" In Wu Feng's opinion, Duan Lingtian was almost certain to die this time. After killing a disciple of Elder Feng and Elder Lei, and one that they doted on the most, it would be a miracle if Duan Lingtian was still alive. "Do you think that's possible?" Hearing Wu Feng's message, Duan Lingtian smiled and asked in reply. "Then where are you now?" Wu Feng asked. "Did they imprison you and then set a time to execute you?" "Junior brother Duan, how about I talk to Elder Tang Chun and see if he can contact Elder Shui Haichuan? If Elder Shui Haichuan is willing to accept you as a disciple, he can definitely protect you," Wu Feng said. "No need." Feeling Wu Feng's concern, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but feel a burst of warmth in his heart. "Senior brother Wu Feng, after seeing you this time, your condition seems much better. It seems that Divine Emperor Qin Wu's remnant soul didn't affect you too much. My cultivation has recently made some progress. I am only a step away from the Middle God King realm," Wu Feng said. "Junior brother Duan, let's talk about you. Where are you now? Is it convenient for me to find you?" "I left the Hidden Fog sect," Duan Lingtian said. "You left the Hidden Fog sect? Where are you going? Are Elder Feng and Elder Lei willing to let you go?" "They want to make things difficult for me. But when I return this time, I won't be going alone. There are 2 other people coming with me. With them here, Elder Feng and Elder Lei can only watch as they take me away." "Who are they that even Elder Feng and Elder Lei fear?" "The Linghu family's Elder Hung and Elder Huan." "That's right, senior apprentice brother Wu Feng. I have already declared in front of everyone today that I will leave the Hidden Fog sect. After leaving the Hidden Fog sect, I will join the Linghu family. Then, through the Linghu family, I will enter the Tianlong clan." "The Linghu family?" Wu Feng was silent for a moment. Then he asked again, "Junior brother Duan, have you confirmed that Linghu Chuin is your wife?" In his opinion, this could only be the reason why Duan Lingtian suddenly joined the Linghu family. "I haven't seen her yet, so I can't confirm it," Duan Lingtian transmitted. "I joined the Linghu family because I wanted to confirm this matter. But it was also because the Hidden Fog sect can't tolerate me. When you rejected Elder Lei, you shouldn't have done it in public. You should have done it in private. That way Long Xiao might not hate you." Wu Feng sighed. He naturally knew that when Duan Lingtian said the Hidden Fog sect couldn't tolerate him, it was because Long Xiao was against Duan Lingtian. Even Shengguan Xiongfeng was against Duan Lingtian because of Long Xiao. If he didn't have a conflict with Long Xiao, Duan Lingtian's life in the Hidden Fog sect would have been smooth sailing. Then, through the Hidden Fog sect, he could have entered the Tianlong clan. The Hidden Fog sect will regret it one day. Wu Feng thought about how Duan Lingtian would enter the Tianlong clan through the Linghu family in the future. He would become a member of the Linghu family within the Tianjin clan and compete with the Hidden Fog sect. It's all in the past. Duan Lingtian smiled and said, "Senior apprentice brother Wu Feng, we'll meet in the Tianlong clan in the future. But, you have to hurry. Otherwise, by the time you reach the Tianlong clan, I might have already left the Tianlong clan." As Duan Lingtian spoke with Wu Feng, he thought of the two friends he made at Wind City's Hidden Fog Academy, Ding Yan and Ho Qingning. However, Ho Qingning had contacted him last time, and said that Ding Yan had left without saying goodbye. Now in Wind City's Hidden Fog Academy, the only person who could be considered his friend was Ho Qingning. Whoosh! With the speed of the Divine Emperor-level flying ship, they soon returned to Linghu City. The Linghu family. After Linghu Huan bade farewell to Duan Lingtian, he left with his twin brother, Linghu Heng. After all, their mission could be considered complete. As soon as the two left, Duan Lingtian saw the Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia. Seeing Duan Lingtian again, Linghu Renjia's gaze was clearly a bit complicated. Before Duan Lingtian returned, he had already received a message from Duan Lingtian. He learned of all the things that happened when Duan Lingtian went to the Hidden Fog sect. Among them, the most important was Duan Lingtian's mysterious background. Or, it could be said that she was the mysterious little sister that Duan Lingtian spoke of. Duan Lingtian, welcome to the Linghu family. Although his mood was complicated, in front of Duan Lingtian, Linghu Renjia acted as if nothing had happened. He was quite enthusiastic and didn't treat Duan Lingtian as a junior at all. The reason I was able to safely escape from the Hidden Fog sect is all thanks to the patriarch. Duan Lingtian repeatedly thanked Linghu Renjia. If it weren't for the Linghu family's Heng and Huan elders following him to the Hidden Fog sect, even if he hadn't died, he would have been imprisoned. And once he was imprisoned, he could only wait for death. In truth, he didn't have any background. Even when he met Duan Xiaoyu in the past, they had only met by chance. They hadn't even exchanged soul beads, so he couldn't contact Duan Xiaoyu for help. Once the Hidden Fog sect waited for a long time, and no one came to save him, they would conclude that he had no background and then kill him. This can be considered the first thing the family will do for you. In the future, there will be many things the family will need to rely on you for. Linghu Renjia smiled. As long as it's within my ability, I won't refuse. Duan Lingtian responded with a serious expression. I believe you. Linghu Renjia smiled and nodded. Then he called out to Duan Lingtian, and personally led Duan Lingtian to the residence arranged for him. It was an independent mansion within the Linghu family mansion. The mansion was spacious and there were many maids and servants arranged inside. There was even a butler. It could be said that everything was taken care of. For the next period of time, you can peacefully cultivate in the family. If there is anything you need, you can look for the butler. If the butler can't solve it, you can look for me and I will arrange it for you. Linghu Renjia said to Duan Lingtian. As for entering the Tianlong clan, with your talent and perception, our Linghu family can recommend you to enter right now. But, I don't approve of this. While Duan Lingtian was still feeling puzzled, Linghu Renjia said with a burning gaze, 26 years later, the Heavenly Dragon sect will be recruiting disciples from the outside world once every 100 years. At that time, those who are under the age of 10,000 will be able to participate in the Heavenly Dragon sect's entrance examination. As long as you can smoothly pass the entrance examination, you will have the qualifications to participate in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition. At that time, the top 100 people will be able to obtain rewards from the Tianlong clan. Those in the top 10 will have even more generous rewards. Only the top 3, and the first place, will have even more generous rewards. The Hidden Dragon Grand Competition is only open to new disciples of the Tianlong clan, who pass the entrance examination once every 100 years. Only the Tianlong clan's new disciples can participate. If you join now, 26 years from now, at the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, you can only be a spectator. When he spoke up to here, Linghu Renjia paused for a moment before continuing. During the last Hidden Dragon Competition, every single person that was ranked in the top 10 obtained an Emperor Ascension Divine Pill. And I've received news that in this time's Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, every one of the top 10 people will also receive an Emperor Ascension Elixir. This is only one of the rewards for the top 10 people. There are other rewards, and the higher the ranking, the more generous they are. Emperor Ascension Elixir. As soon as he heard Ling Hu Renjie mention the Emperor Ascension Elixir, Duan Lingtian's eyes lit up, and even his breathing subconsciously became sluggish. It's precisely because of this that I think you can consider waiting until then to enter the Tianlong clan. Ling Hu Renjie said, "Of course, if you still want to enter now, I'll respect your decision." Chapter 3746. Although the Divine King realm didn't have a heaven-defying elixir like the Fortune elixir that the Divine Spirit realm took, there were still some elixirs that every Divine King would fight to get. The Emperor Ascension elixir was definitely one of the best elixirs. After all, the Emperor Ascension elixir wouldn't increase the cultivation of a Divine King. Even so, Divine Kings would still fight to get it. Why? Because the Emperor Ascension elixir could directly eliminate the bottleneck of a higher Divine King breaking through to a lower Divine Emperor. Even if the cultivation technique was only at the Divine King level, as long as the cultivation reached a certain level, the bottleneck could be ignored and the bottleneck could be broken through. To put it bluntly, the Emperor Ascension elixir was equivalent to a passport to the Divine Emperor realm. According to Duan Lingtian's knowledge, the Emperor Ascension elixir was extremely difficult to refine. Even some Emperor God level forces might not be able to produce one in 100 years. The Tianlong clan had produced 10 Emperor Ascension elixirs in the Hidden Dragon competition that was held once every 100 years. The Tianlong clan actually has a divine alchemist who could refine 10 Emperor Ascension elixirs in 100 years. Duan Lingtian looked at Ling Hu Renjie and asked in surprise. Ling Hu Renjie smiled and said, "The Tianlong clan's old clan leader was extremely obsessed with alchemy when he was still the Tianlong clan's clan leader. Later, when he stepped down and became the Grand Elder of the Tianlong clan, he no longer had to deal with the trivial matters of the Tianlong clan, and had more time to study the art of alchemy. 1,000 years ago, he had a great breakthrough in alchemy. Not only did his success rate of refining Emperor-grade divine elixirs is astonishing, but he even refined an Emperor-grade divine elixir. After that, he became famous in Tunglung province. Even the top Emperor God-level forces in Tunglung province sent people to invite him over many times and made all kinds of promises. The Emperor Ascension elixir is also an Emperor-grade divine elixir. For ordinary divine alchemists in Tunglung province, the success rate is pathetically low, but for him it's not difficult." Hearing Ling Hu Renjie's words, Duan Lingtian suddenly realized that there was such a reason. The reason why he was puzzled was because even though the Sky Dragon sect was a God Emperor level force, it was a force without a single God Emperor expert in the current generation. It was just that a God Emperor expert had appeared before. In Tunglung province, there were many God level forces like the Tianlong clan. Was the Tianlong clan level God level forces like the Tianlong clan's level forces like the Tianlong clan? T's level forces was. Moreover, it was also a God-level sect in Tunglung province. Under normal circumstances, a God Emperor level force like the Sky Dragon sect, which didn't have any God Emperor experts, wouldn't have any good God Pill Masters. A divine alchemist who could refine 10 Emperor Ascension elixirs in 100 years would be highly sought after by the top God level forces in Tunglung province. If I'm a divine alchemist now, the top God level forces in Tunglung province would definitely want me. No matter which God level force wants me, they'll definitely treat me well. I'll also be able to obtain a better cultivation environment and resources. Duan Lingtian shook his head inwardly when he thought about this. When he was in the mundane realm, he was skilled in the Tao of alchemy. When he ascended to the Devata realms, he began to refine pills. However, as he was busy with his cultivation and had many things to do, he gradually put it aside. As for how to refine pills in the realms of gods, Duan Lingtian did not know much about it. Perhaps he could learn more about it and start a side business? If he wasn't careful, he might really be able to take a shortcut and head to those more powerful forces with a deeper foundation. Duan Lingtian, think about it and tell me what you think. No matter what you choose, I'll respect your decision. Ling Hu Renjie said with a smile. Moreover, I believe with your innate talent and comprehension, you'll be able to enter the Divine Emperor stage even without the Emperor Ascension elixir. Moreover, even if you join the Tianlong clan now, you'll still have a chance to obtain the Emperor Ascension elixir through other channels in the Tianlong clan. It's just a matter of time, Linghu Renjie said. Sect leader, I think it's better for me to wait for another 20 years before I participate in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, held by the Tianlong clan. Duan Lingtian made his decision in front of Linghu Renjie. Have you made up your mind? Linghu Renjie asked as he heaved a sigh of relief inwardly. In fact, from his personal point of view, he hoped that Duan Lingtian would not be reckless. With such a good opportunity to obtain the Emperor Ascension elixir, it was best not to miss it. As for whether Duan Lingtian would be able to enter the top 10 in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, he did not doubt it at all. Not to mention that in 20 years, Duan Lingtian's strength would increase by another level. Even if Duan Lingtian participated in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, there was no doubt that he would enter the top 10. It had to be known that the two top 5 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect had died under Duan Lingtian's strength. If Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao had participated in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, they might not have had a chance to enter the top 10. However, if Shangguan Xiongfeng wanted to enter the top 30 and Long Xiao wanted to enter the top 50, it would not have been a problem. However, these two people had been killed by Duan Lingtian with a single sword strike. Although there were suspicions that Duan Lingtian had relied on the advantage of the divine weapon, he had not used his full strength at that time. If Duan Lingtian had grasped the sword Dao, even if it was only a middle-grade divine sword, it would have been enough for him to display an even more powerful attack. I've made up my mind. Duan Lingtian nodded. At the same time, he took out the high-grade divine sword he had used to kill Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao from his storage ring, and returned it to Linghu Renjie. Sect leader, it was thanks to your divine sword that we were able to kill them this time. Linghu Renjie took back the divine sword and shook his head with a smile. I lent you this divine sword in hopes that you would not expose your sword Dao. Even without this divine sword, your sword Dao would have been enough to easily kill them. If it were an ordinary divine weapon, Linghu Renjie would have definitely given it to Duan Lingtian. However, this was a high-grade divine weapon. Even their Linghu family only had a few, so it was naturally inconvenient for him to give it to Duan Lingtian. However, he did not know that Duan Lingtian did not lack high-grade divine weapons at all. There was even a high-grade divine weapon hidden within Duan Lingtian's body. Moreover, it was a high-grade divine weapon with an artifact soul. Duan Lingtian, the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition that is held every 100 years by the Tianlong clan. I have confidence in you. There is no doubt that you will enter the top 10. If you can enter the top 3, you might be able to obtain a high-grade divine weapon. After Linghu Renjie put away the high-grade divine sword in his hand, he said to Duan Lingtian with a smile, you won't feel any pressure from being in the top 10, but it won't be that easy to be in the top 3. With the strength you have displayed so far, even if you use your sword Dao, it is almost impossible for you to enter the top 3. In the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, one cannot use divine weapons or other external forces. Moreover, even if you can use divine weapons, I can lend you a high-grade divine weapon. Others can similarly borrow high-grade divine weapons from others. Therefore, you still have to work harder in your cultivation from now on, and strive to enter the realm of Middle Divine King. You must not place too much importance on the improvement that divine weapons can bring you. That would instead fall into a disadvantageous position. As Linghu Renjie finished speaking, he had already intentionally reminded Duan Lingtian. He was deeply afraid that Duan Lingtian would always think of relying on divine weapons, and thus affect his cultivation. Patriarch, don't worry. I understand this principle. However, there was no need for Linghu Renjie to say these principles. Duan Lingtian also understood in his heart. He was not some flower in a greenhouse. He had risen all the way from the mundane realm to here through his own efforts, one step at a time. Linghu Renjie nodded his head in satisfaction. Then he said to Duan Lingtian, since you have made your choice, then in the next 20 years, our Linghu family will do our best to help you enter the realm of Middle Divine King. As for the laws of space, I will also think of a way for you. As Duan Lingtian expressed his thanks, Ling Hu Renjie floated away. Young master. After Ling Hu Renjie left, the elderly butler walked forward and respectfully bowed to Duan Lingtian. My name is Wang Fu. I am the butler that the patriarch has arranged for you. In the next 20 years, I will be in charge of your meals and lodging. Then I will have to trouble Uncle Fu in the future. Duan Lingtian smiled at Wang Fu. Then he nodded to the servants behind Wang Fu. Finally, he called out to Wang Fu and had him lead him to his room. As the master of this mansion, Duan Lingtian's room took up almost half of the entire building. In addition to a large bed, there were many tables and pearls on the tables. Young master, these are the floating image pearls that the patriarch has prepared for you. Without exception, they have all recorded the battle between experts who are proficient in the laws of space and above. When Duan Lingtian entered the room and his gaze was attracted by the pearls on the table, Wang Fu's voice sounded in a timely manner. When Duan Lingtian heard this, his originally calm gaze trembled slightly. His heart was filled with gratitude. The patriarch is very considerate. With a sigh, Duan Lingtian took out Ling Hu Renjie's soul pearl and transmitted his thanks. These floating image pearls are the collection of our Ling Hu family. I hope that they will be useful to you. Speaking of which, these things are far inferior to the divine fruits that allow one to comprehend the laws of space after consumption, as well as the law steels carved by experts who have comprehended the laws of space to a certain extent. Ling Hu Renjie transmitted. Our Ling Hu family does have 2 law rooms that contain the laws of space. However, they are only ordinary law rooms. Given your comprehension of the laws of space, they will not be of any use to you. Given your current attainments in the laws of space, most of the law rooms in Tunglung province that are owned by god emperors will not be of any use to you. Next, I will keep an eye out for the divine fruits of the laws of space, and law steels left behind by experts who have fused 4 or more profundities of the laws of space. Chapter 3747. Since the Devata realms had their own secret chambers, it was only natural for the realms of gods to have them as well. Not long after arriving at the mystic Handle Land in the realms of gods, Duan Lingtian learned that there were secret chambers of laws in the realms of gods. Moreover, the secret chambers were divided into several grades. The secret chambers of laws were formed by formations. Moreover, the formations were not difficult to set up. They were very basic formations. However, most of the secret chambers of laws had to be built on a divine stone mine. A certain amount of divine stones was required to use the secret chambers. The grade of the divine stone mine also determined the grade of the secret chamber. Naturally, there was another type of secret chamber that did not need to be built on a divine stone mine. It could be set up with divine stones. This sort of law chamber was also the lowest level law chamber. For example, the secret chamber of laws in the Tidal Temple's main temple that Duan Lingtian had visited before he came to the realms of gods was one of these secret chambers. However, these secret chambers could only help a person comprehend all the profundities of a law to the mastery stage. Moreover, it required a lot of divine stones. Even an ordinary godly king-level faction could only allow their core members to use this sort of law chamber to increase their comprehension of laws. Only God-King forces with a strong foundation could allow most of their core members to enter these secret chambers. The secret chambers of laws that allowed one to comprehend the fusion of 2 profundities of a law could only be built on divine stone mines controlled by God-Emperor forces. Moreover, the price to pay was not small. Every time one stayed in the secret chambers, a certain amount of divine stones would be consumed. Therefore, in a God-Emperor force, very few people were allowed to enter the secret chambers to comprehend the profundities of a law. Those who were allowed to enter were those who were specially rewarded by the God-Emperor force. As for the core members of a God-Emperor force, they did not need to use these secret chambers. For example, the secret chambers of laws in the Ling Hu family, such as the patriarch of the Ling Hu family, Ling Hu Renjie, and many other core members of the Ling Hu family were not allowed to use them. Whether it was the elders of the Ling Hu family or the disciples of the Ling Hu family, they had to obtain permission from the Ling Hu family before they could use the secret chambers. If one barged in without permission, they would be sentenced to death. And from what Linghu Renjie had said, as long as Duan Lingtian needed the Linghu family's law chamber, the Linghu family could give it to Duan Lingtian unconditionally. Thank you, sect leader. Through Linghu Renjie's tone, Duan Lingtian could tell that Linghu Renjie wasn't just joking. Young master, if there's anything you need, just send me a message through my soul orb. I'll do it for you as soon as possible. After housekeeper Wang Fu gave his soul orb to Duan Lingtian, he respectfully left the room. Young master, I won't disturb you any further. After Wang Fu left, he closed the door behind him. As for Duan Lingtian, he didn't cultivate. Instead, he casually picked up the closest floating image pearl and poured his divine power into it. Immediately, a clear image appeared in front of him. Within the floating image pearl was a vast plain. Two figures were fighting, and one of them was skilled in the space laws. Moreover, this person's attainments in the space laws weren't low. He had comprehended the fusion of many different space laws' three profound meanings. Moreover, there were some fusion of three profound meanings that Duan Lingtian hadn't fused. Thus Duan Lingtian watched with great interest. When Duan Lingtian returned to the Linghu family with the Hung and Huan patriarchs, a piece of news spread through the Hidden Fog sect, alarming all the Hidden Fog sect disciples. Core disciple Duan Lingtian had left the Hidden Fog sect and joined the Linghu family. As soon as this news spread out, it caused a great sensation. After all, it hadn't been too long since Duan Lingtian was taken away by the Linghu family's Hung and Huan patriarchs. There weren't many people who knew about this yet. After this news spread, the entire Hidden Fog sect couldn't help but curse. That Duan Lingtian is actually so ungrateful. I heard that after Duan Lingtian killed fellow core disciples senior apprentice brother Shangguan Xiongfeng and senior apprentice brother Long Xiao, because of his talent and perception, Elder Feng and Elder Lei cherished him and couldn't bear to kill him. But they never imagined that not only was he ungrateful, but he even betrayed the sect and joined the Linghu family. That Duan Lingtian is too hateful. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability, otherwise I would have helped the sect eliminate this ungrateful brat. From top to bottom, the entire Hidden Fog sect was cursing Duan Lingtian for being ungrateful. And the reason why they were cursing Duan Lingtian was because someone was secretly adding fuel to the fire. Moreover, it was the Hidden Fog sect's sect master, Qianyin, who had personally issued the order. As the Hidden Fog sect's sect master, he could only watch helplessly as the person who had killed two core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect came out unscathed and left the Hidden Fog sect to join another divine emperor-level influence. How could Qianyin not be angry? However, he had been suppressing the anger in his heart. It was only now that he vented it out in such a manner. The public news was that Duan Lingtian had left the Hidden Fog sect and joined the Linghu family. But behind the scenes, Duan Lingtian had been slandered. By doing this, even if Duan Lingtian had some great background in the future and wanted to settle accounts with him, he wouldn't be blamed on Qianyin. Duan Lingtian actually left the Hidden Fog sect? Duan Lingtian left the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family. This matter must be reported immediately. After the spies the 10,000 Demon sect placed in the Hidden Fog sect learned of this news, they immediately sent a message back to the 10,000 Demon sect. For a time, the 10,000 Demon sect elders in charge of contacting them also received the news. Moreover, they immediately went to find the sect master of the 10,000 Demon sect, Lan Qing, and told him the news. After Lan Qing learned of this news, he was also stunned. Duan Lingtian betrayed the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family? However, after regaining his composure, he went to the cultivation area of the 10,000 Demon sect's highest elder, Kuang Tianzheng, and told the news to his martial uncle who had just returned from the Tianlong clan. Kuang Tianzheng was an inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan, a middle divine emperor. The reason he returned this time was because of the death of his disciple, Chu Han. Until now, he suspected that the death of his disciple, Chu Han, was related to the Hidden Fog sect's disciples, Duan Lingtian and Wu Feng. He already knew that Wu Feng had returned to the Hidden Fog sect. He had been waiting for Duan Lingtian to return so that he could find them, and catch them all in one fell swoop. Today he finally received news that Duan Lingtian had returned to the Hidden Fog sect. But soon after, his eyes brightened a little. But because of the following words of the 10,000 Demon Sect's sect master, they dimmed. Duan Lingtian betrayed the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family? Kuang Tianjing's complexion wasn't too good. Because if this was the case, things would become complicated. He had to go to the Hidden Fog sect and also the Linghu family. But the Hidden Fog sect's two elders Feng and Lei didn't kill Duan Lingtian after he killed their disciples. Moreover, Duan Lingtian already had a grudge with the disciples of two elders Feng and Lei, and he left the Hidden Fog sect in order to avoid them and didn't return? When he returned this time, Long Xiao went to find him and he directly killed him. This Duan Lingtian must have returned to the Hidden Fog sect prepared. After speculating for a while, Kuang Tianjing was almost certain of this. Perhaps the Linghu family followed him back to the Hidden Fog sect. To be able to bring someone back to the Hidden Fog sect with Duan Lingtian, right under the noses of elders Feng and Lei who had just lost their beloved disciple, it's either the Linghu clan's second young miss or the Heng and Huan elders. Between them, the chances of the Linghu family's second miss going back with him are higher. After all, Duan Lingtian once pursued her daughter, Linghu Chuin, in Monarch Descent City. Although she publicly stated that her daughter wouldn't marry, no one dares to say that she wouldn't change her mind because of Duan Lingtian's talent and perception. As Kuang Tianjing spoke, whether it was the 10,000 Demon Sect's sect master Lan Qing, or the 10,000 Demon Sect's highest elder Du Zhan, both of them nodded. They felt that this deduction was reasonable and convincing. Of course, the reason why Kuang Tianjing made such a guess was because he didn't know enough about the Linghu family's second Mississippi. He also didn't know that Duan Lingtian had never pursued Linghu Chuin. However, his general guess was correct. Junior apprentice brother. After taking a deep breath, Kuang Tianjing looked at Du Zhan and said in a deep voice, "Help me make a trip to the Hidden Fog sect and bring that Wu Feng back. Wait for me to deal with him when I return. Tell the Hidden Fog sect that he is someone that I, Kuang Tianjing, want. I don't think they will stop a mere inner sect disciple. As for me, I will make a trip to the Linghu family. The Linghu family will definitely treat Duan Lingtian as a treasure. If I don't go there myself, they won't hand over Duan Lingtian." As Du Zhan responded, Kuang Tianjing's figure flashed, and he disappeared from Du Zhan and Lan Qing's sight. He was clearly heading straight for the Linghu family. Seeing this, Du Zhan didn't hesitate. He left the 10,000 Demon Sect and headed for the Hidden Fog sect. Whoosh! Kuang Tianjing used a Divine Emperor-level flying ship to rush over. He consumed a large number of divine stones and traveled at the speed of a high-level Divine Emperor. It didn't take long for him to arrive at Linghu City where the Linghu family was located. A Divine Emperor-level flying ship appeared outside the Linghu family's mansion. This naturally alarmed the Linghu family members patrolling the perimeter of the Linghu family. "Your Excellency is?" Seeing the person who flew out of the Divine Emperor-level flying ship, the leader of the Linghu family's patrol team didn't dare to slight him in the slightest. Someone who could own a Divine Emperor-level flying ship was definitely not an ordinary person. Even their Linghu family only had 2 Divine Emperor-level flying ships. One was controlled by the Linghu family's patriarch, and the other was an elder. A Divine Emperor-level flying ship was extremely precious. At the same time, it also symbolized one's status. Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Kuang Tianjing. Facing the Linghu family's patrol elder's question, the old man who flew out of the flying ship indifferently stated his identity. Chapter 3748. The Linghu family's patrol elder had already guessed that Kuang Tianjing wasn't an ordinary person when he saw him arrive on a deity emperor-class spaceship. But when Kuang Tianjing revealed his identity, he couldn't help but be shocked. Tianlong clan? That was the God Emperor-class clan that the Linghu family was indirectly attached to. And the person in front of him was actually the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder? Greetings, Lord Kuang Tianjing. The Linghu family's patrol elder led a group of Linghu family's patrol disciples behind him to salute Kuang Tianjing respectfully. He didn't suspect that the person in front of him was an imposter. No one dared to impersonate the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder because it was a matter of life and death. Moreover, the person in front of him had already used a deity emperor-class spaceship to prove his extraordinary identity. Lord Kuang Tianzheng, why have you come to our Linghu family? The patrol elder asked curiously. I'm looking for your Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia. Kuang Tianzheng said indifferently. Kuang Tianzheng was the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder. His status was so high that even Linghu Renjia, the patriarch of the Linghu family, came out to greet him as soon as he heard that he had come. The minimum requirement to become an inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan was a mid-level god emperor. Moreover, not every mid-level god emperor had the strength to become an inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan. Such an existence was considered respectable even in the Tianlong clan, let alone in the Linghu family. Therefore, Linghu Renjia was very enthusiastic. Elder Tianzheng, please come in. After Linghu Renjia came out, he didn't ask why Kuang Tianzheng was looking for him. He immediately invited him into the Linghu family's residence. The patrol elder didn't know who Kuang Tianzheng was, but he knew very well. He was an inner sect elder of the Thousand Demons sect in the Tianlong clan. Before he joined the Tianlong clan, he was a member of the Thousand Demons sect. Although he wasn't an enemy of the Linghu family, he was still a competitor in the Tianlong clan. Even so, he still didn't dare to be negligent. No matter what, he was a mid-level god emperor of the Linghu family. No. Linghu Renjia's residence. He looked directly at Linghu Renjia and said, Patriarch of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia's residence, Linghu Renjia's is here. Obviously, Kuang Tian was ready to get straight to the point. What is it? Linghu Renjia looked at Kuang Tianzheng in confusion. To be honest, he was also very surprised by Kuang Tianzheng's arrival. He didn't know why the other party had come, but he knew that the other party couldn't have come to the Linghu family for no reason. As the saying goes, one doesn't visit a temple without a cause. I'm here to borrow a person from patriarch of the Linghu family, Kuang Tianzheng said to Linghu Renjia with a smile. Borrow a person? Linghu Renjia was stunned, then said with a wry smile, Elder Tianzheng, if you have something to say, just say it. I want to take Duan Lingtian with me. Kuang Tianzheng looked at Linghu Renjia's eyes and said bluntly, Duan Lingtian. If Kuang Tianzheng had mentioned someone else's name, Linghu Renjia wouldn't have had much of a reaction. But now Kuang Tianzheng had mentioned Duan Lingtian's name. Duan Lingtian hadn't been in the Linghu family for long. It could be said that he hadn't even warmed up his seat yet. He had just arrived, and now this Kuang Tianzheng was asking for him? Was he asking for the Hidden Fog sect? However, Linghu Renjia thought it was impossible. The Hidden Fog sect and the 10,000 Demons sect had been enemies for a long time. Even within the Tianlong clan, the Hidden Fog sect and the 10,000 Demons sect were sworn enemies. It could be said that as long as there was a chance, they would fight to the death with each other. In this situation, as an elder of the Tianlong clan from the 10,000 Demons sect, it was impossible for Kuang Tianzheng to help the Hidden Fog sect. Elder Kuang Tianzheng, may I ask why? After Linghu Renjia's expression froze, he asked Kuang Tianzheng curiously. At the same time, he didn't forget to send a message to Duan Lingtian. He also asked, Duan Lingtian, why would the 10,000 Demon sect's Tianlong clan elder Kuang Tianzheng suddenly look for me and say that he wants to borrow you? After receiving Linghu Renjia's message, Duan Lingtian guessed Kuang Tianzheng's intentions. This was because he knew who Kuang Tianzheng was. He was Chu Han's honorable master, the one he had killed in the divine manner left behind by divine Emperor Qin Wu. He was also Du Qianjuan's grandfather, and the senior apprentice brother of the 10,000 Demon sect's highest elder, patriarch. Duan Lingtian didn't plan on hiding this matter from Linghu Renjia. After all, if he did, Linghu Renjia wouldn't take this matter seriously and would directly hand him over. Although Kuang Tianzheng wasn't sure if he was the one who killed Chu Han, who knew if Kuang Tianzheng wouldn't kill him with the thought of killing 1,000 by mistake is better than letting one? Therefore, Duan Lingtian told Linghu Renjia that he had killed Chu Han. What? You killed Kuang Tianzheng's disciple, Chu Han? As far as I know, Chu Han was his youngest disciple. Moreover, it is said that he viewed Chu Han as his own grandson. Linghu Renjie was frightened by Duan Lingtian's words. He never imagined that Duan Lingtian would be so valiant. Not only did he kill the disciple of the Hidden Fog sect's Old Feng and Old Lei, but before that, he had even killed the most beloved disciple of the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Kuang Tianzheng. This Kuang Tianzheng wasn't someone that the Hidden Fog sect's Old Feng and Old Lei could compare with. He was a middle divine emperor. If he attacked alone, even if the Hidden Fog sect's 4 strongest highest elders attacked together, they still might not be his match. Even if the several elders of the Linghu family, including Old Hung and Old Feng and himself, were added together, they would at most be able to fight to a draw with Kuang Tianzheng. There was no other way. In that situation, either he died or we died, Duan Lingtian said. But after hearing Duan Lingtian say this, Linghu Renjie didn't ask any more questions. This was because he could understand. If he were in that situation, he would also kill Chu Han. You just stay here. I'll deal with him. As Linghu Renjie finished communicating with Duan Lingtian, Kuang Tianzheng hesitated for a moment. Then he finally answered Kuang Tianzheng's question. I came to ask Patriarch Linghu for Duan Lingtian, because he might be related to the death of my disciple, Chu Han. I looked for him because I wanted to know from him if he knew how my disciple died. Although this was what Kuang Tianzheng said, an imperceptible cold light flashed in the depths of his eyes. When he learned that Duan Lingtian had killed Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, Kuang Tianzheng was almost certain. His disciple, Chu Han, was most likely killed by Duan Lingtian. Therefore, he had come this time with the intention of killing Duan Lingtian. As long as the Linghu family handed over Chu Han, he would leave the Linghu family with his men and kill Chu Han. If Linghu Renjie hadn't heard this from Duan Lingtian, he might not have noticed the cold light in the depths of Kuang Tianzheng's eyes. But now he clearly saw the cold light in Kuang Tianzheng's eyes. Elder Tianzheng, if you want to know, why don't I help you? Asked Duan Lingtian. Linghu Renjie smiled faintly. Without waiting for Kuang Tianzheng's refusal, he pretended to be absent-minded, as if he were transmitting a message. At this time, he pretended not to hear anything Kuang Tianzheng said. After a while, Linghu Renjie came back to his senses and said to Kuang Tianzheng, Elder Tianzheng, I asked Duan Lingtian, and he said he didn't know your disciple. Elder Tianzheng, are you mistaken? Patriarch Linghu, you should call him out and talk to him face to face. As Kuang Tianzheng spoke, he glanced at the Linghu family's residence. There was a faint trace of fear in the depths of his eyes. The Linghu family had once produced an extremely monstrous array master. He had arranged a guardian array around the Linghu family, and by relying on the power of the array formation, he had killed 3 lower god emperors who had joined forces to attack them. Moreover, they hadn't been ordinary lower god emperors. It was said that once the Linghu family's guardian array formation was activated, even a middle god emperor would be severely wounded. It could even injure a higher god emperor. If it weren't for this, he would have already rushed into the Linghu family and forcefully captured Duan Lingtian. It had to be known that this was how he had planned to go to the Hidden Fog sect and capture Duan Lingtian. Even if the Hidden Fog sect and the 10,000 Demon sect were enemies, he didn't have any misgivings. This was because with his strength, he could disregard the several grand elders of the Hidden Fog sect. At the same time, the Hidden Fog sect's guardian array formation wasn't enough to stop him. The Hidden Fog sect had never produced an existence skilled in array formations. In fact, array formations were their weakness. Even the 10,000 Demon sect's guardian array formation was stronger than the Hidden Fog sect's. Elder Tianzheng, it hasn't been convenient for Duan Lingtian to leave recently. Linghu Renjie faintly smiled and said, I presume you know what happened to him in the Hidden Fog sect? I am worried that there are people from the Hidden Fog sect lurking outside our Linghu family's mansion. They might ambush him at any moment. Just as Kuang Tianzheng was about to proudly say something, Linghu Renjie continued. Moreover, before my second sister left, he made a heart demon blood oath in front of her. He said that before the Tianlong clan held the Hidden Dragon Grand competition, he would not take a single step out of the Linghu family. So he can't come out. Elder Tianzheng, if you really want to see him, How about following me into the mansion? Ling Hu Renjie asked with a smile. As Ling Hu Renjie's voice fell, Kuang Tianjing's complexion immediately turned ugly. He naturally didn't believe Ling Hu Renjie's words. But what could he say? Could he say that Ling Hu Renjie had hurriedly made a heart demon blood oath and said that he wasn't lying to him? Although Ling Hu Renjie was only a lower divine emperor, and he could easily kill him, behind Ling Hu Renjie was the Ling Hu family. He was part of the Tianlong clan's Ling Hu family. In the Tianlong clan, one of the best members of the Ling Hu family was Ling Hu Renjie's grandfather. That grandfather's status in the Tianlong clan was even higher than his own. Then I'll have to bother you. Although Kuang Tianjing dreaded the Ling Hu family's protective array formation, he still wanted to see Duan Lingtian. Even if he couldn't kill him today, he still wanted to confirm some things. Of course, in his heart, regardless of whether or not his disciple Chu Han's death was related to Duan Lingtian, he didn't plan on letting Duan Lingtian go. He would rather kill the wrong person than let him go. Senior apprentice brother Wu Feng. As Kuang Tianjing followed Ling Hu Renjie into the Ling Hu family's mansion, Duan Lingtian had already sent a message to Wu Feng in the distant Hidden Fog sect. A moment ago, he was relieved to see that Wu Feng's soul bead was intact. Chapter 3749. Junior Apprentice Brother Duan? After receiving Duan Lingtian's message, Wu Feng was a bit surprised. However, when Duan Lingtian told Wu Feng that the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Kuang Tianjing, had come looking for him, Wu Feng's complexion changed. Since they found me, they must have found you as well. I estimate that Senior Apprentice Brother Wu Feng called me by my surname, so they guessed that the person with you was me. I have the protection of the Ling Hu family head, so there shouldn't be any problems. But Senior Apprentice Brother Wu Feng, the Hidden Fog sect might not be able to protect you. Before coming to the Ling Hu family, Duan Lingtian had heard Wu Feng mention many things about the Ling Hu family. Wu Feng had also compared the Ling Hu family with the Hidden Fog sect. Both had their own merits. However, in terms of sect protecting array formations, the Ling Hu family was stronger, and much stronger. The Hidden Fog sect couldn't stop a Middle Divine Emperor, let alone a Middle Divine Emperor. Even the last time Duan Lingtian left with the Ling Hu family's old men Heng and Huan, the Hidden Fog sect couldn't stop them. For instance, Wu Feng was only an inner sect disciple. In front of an inner sect elder like Kuang Tianjing of the Tianlong clan, it was hard to say whether or not the Hidden Fog sect would protect him. With the Hidden Fog sect's half-baked sect protecting array formations, even if they wanted to protect him, they wouldn't be able to. So if possible, Senior Apprentice Brother Wu Feng, I advise you to leave the Hidden Fog sect. Duan Lingtian advised Wu Feng as he said, how about you come to the Ling Hu family? I can ask the Ling Hu family head to recommend you. He had always been grateful to Wu Feng. After all, if it weren't for Wu Feng bringing him to the divine abode left behind by Divine Emperor Qin Wu, he wouldn't have obtained anything. Junior Apprentice Brother Duan, I appreciate your good intentions. And on Wu Feng's side, there was soon a response. I will immediately leave the Hidden Fog sect, but after this, I cannot go to the Ling Hu family. I am a native of the profound Handle land, and I have my own family. I plan to return to my family and lead them to move. If that Tianlong clan inner sect elder can't find me, he'll definitely follow the clues and find my clan. I have to take the first step and move with my clan. In the future, Junior Brother Duan, if you need my help, feel free to send me a message. As long as it's within my power, I won't refuse. After Wu Feng finished his transmission, there was no response. Clearly he was busy. Duan Lingtian. Just as he ended his communication with Wu Feng, Duan Lingtian received another message. It was from the head of the Ling Hu family, Ling Hu Renjie. Duan Lingtian, Kuang Tianjing insisted on seeing you. I brought him into the family mansion. Come to the main hall for a moment. Don't worry. I will control our Ling Hu family's great sect protecting array to protect you. Even if that Kuang Tianjing attacks you, he won't be able to kill you. As Ling Hu Renjie finished speaking, he deliberately comforted Duan Lingtian. Come here. Just give him a perfunctory reply. Ling Hu Renjie added. All right. Duan Lingtian responded. Then he left the room, leaving the mansion that Ling Hu Renjia had arranged for him. Then he went straight to the main hall. In the main hall, Ling Hu Renjia stood there. And not too far in front of Ling Hu Renjia was an old man. This old man had a medium build, white hair, and a ruddy complexion. He looked extremely ordinary. But Duan Lingtian knew that this was restraint. Moreover, this sort of restraint was rare for ordinary people. Only when one's cultivation reached a certain level could they achieve this. Patriarch. Duan Lingtian greeted Ling Hu Renjia as he walked into the main hall. In the blink of an eye, he was near Ling Hu Renjia and the old man in front of him. Duan Lingtian. Ling Hu Renjia returned the greeting with a smile. Then he took a few steps forward and stood in front of Duan Lingtian. He stood between Duan Lingtian and the old man. Then, with his back facing the old man, he introduced, "This is the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Elder Kuang Tianzheng." Elder Kuang Tianzheng used to be a disciple of the Thousand Demons sect. Later, he joined the Tianlong clan and rose through the ranks. He is a prominent figure of the Thousand Demons sect in the Tianlong clan. After Ling Hu Renjia finished his introduction, he turned to look at Kuang Tianzheng. "Elder Tianzheng, I don't think I need to introduce Duan Lingtian, right?" At the same time, Duan Lingtian nodded at the old man as a form of greeting. Duan Lingtian. Kuang Tianzheng's eyes were like lightning as he looked at Duan Lingtian. He asked in a deep voice, "I heard my junior apprentice brother Duzhan's grandson Du Qianjun say that before my disciple Chu Han died, the last people he came into contact with were you and that hidden fog sect disciple Wu Feng?" Duan Lingtian heard this. Although he knew what was going on, his face was still filled with confusion. "Elder Tianzheng, what are you talking about? How come I don't understand? Your disciple Chu Han? I've never heard of him, nor do I know him. Did you mistake him for someone else?" The confusion on Duan Lingtian's face caused Kuang Tianzheng to frown. If it weren't for the fact that he was 100% sure that the person beside Wu Feng was Duan Lingtian, then he might have been fooled by Duan Lingtian. He knew that it was impossible to see any clues from Duan Lingtian's expression. Duan Lingtian was clearly an expert in this field. "Duan Lingtian, my disciple Chu Han, you were the one who killed him, right?" Kuang Tianzheng asked once more. Moreover, this was the most sensitive question. Even Ling Hu Renjia's expression changed drastically. Immediately, his right hand shook the void. Immediately, a layer of light appeared in front of him, Duan Lingtian and Kuang Tianzheng. The Ling Hu family's protective array formation formed a defensive barrier in front of Duan Lingtian and Ling Hu Renjia, separating them from Kuang Tianzheng. At this moment, Duan Lingtian felt an absolute sense of security as he looked at the translucent light barrier in front of him. He had heard about the Ling Hu clan's Great Protective Array from Wu Feng. He knew how strong the Great Protective Array was. It could kill low-level divine emperors with the power of the Great Protective Array. Ordinary low-level divine emperors couldn't even break through the Great Protective Array. A mid-level divine emperor couldn't break through the Great Protective Array. Ordinary high-level divine emperors couldn't break through it. Ling Hu family head, you're too careful. Kuang Tianzheng looked deeply at Ling Hu Renjia and said in a low voice. Although Kuang Tianzheng looked calm on the surface, his heart was filled with anger and helplessness. He was angry at Ling Hu Renjia for being so careful and helpless against the protective array formation in front of him. Just now, as soon as he finished speaking, he was ready to kill Duan Lingtian. He didn't expect Ling Hu Renjia to react so quickly. When his consciousness probingly landed on the formation canopy in front of him, he discovered that with his strength, it would be impossible for him to completely break through the formation canopy. Therefore, he didn't make a move in the end. Elder Tianzheng, you told me that you only came to ask Duan Lingtian a few questions. Ling Hu Renjia looked at Kuang Tianzheng, a trace of dissatisfaction appearing in his eyes. His tone also became much lower. I believe in your sincerity. That's why I allowed you to see Duan Lingtian. I'm sorry, but because I thought of my disciple Chu Han who died in vain, I couldn't help but be a bit agitated. Kuang Tianzheng restrained the divine power he was accumulating. Although he was apologizing, his tone was frivolous and casual. without the slightest bit of sincerity. Then he looked deeply at Duan Lingtian and said, Duan Lingtian, it's best if you have nothing to do with the death of my disciple Chu Han. Otherwise, whether it is the Hidden Fog sect or the Linghu family behind you, none of them will be able to protect you. After leaving behind these ruthless words, Kuang Tianzheng turned and left. When he turned and left, one could feel the divine power on his body's surface again, like a surging flame that was constantly roaming on the surface of his body. I heard that you plan to participate in our Tianlong clan's Hidden Dragon Grand Competition in 20 years. We will meet again at that time. These were the last words Kuang Tianzheng said before he walked out of the main hall and flew away. However, from beginning to end, Duan Lingtian's expression was calm. He was not affected by Kuang Tianzheng's ruthless words at all. To him, Kuang Tianzheng was just a small stumbling block on his path to the profound Handle Land. If he couldn't even cross this small stumbling block, how could he talk about rescuing his wife Ker 300 years later? Of course, if Ling Huchuin was Ker, he also needed to have enough strength to obtain the recognition of the Xia family behind Ker. Perhaps Ker didn't care about this. However, as a man, he cared a lot about this. Duan Lingtian. Linghu Renjie couldn't help but bitterly smile. Now, not only have you offended the Hidden Fog sect's elders Feng and Lei, but even this Kuang Tianzheng wants to kill you. Before you go to the Tianlong clan, you have to be careful. It's best if you don't take half a step away from our Linghu family's residence. After saying this, Linghu Renjie's bitter smile disappeared and was replaced with a solemn and dignified expression. I understand. Duan Lingtian nodded. He understood this principle, so he naturally wouldn't foolishly send himself to his death. He had already thought about it. If he were elders Feng and Lei, he definitely wouldn't be willing. He would definitely come to Linghu City and wait for an opportunity to attack him. Of course, the possibility of elders Feng and Lei directly killing him was very low, unless they completely ignored the Hidden Fog sect. Otherwise, before they confirmed whether or not he had an amazing background, they absolutely wouldn't kill him. Just like in the Hidden Fog sect, elders Feng and Lei didn't attack him because they were afraid of the amazing background behind him. Otherwise, they would have killed him as soon as they saw him. As for that Kuang Tianzheng, he clearly didn't have so many misgivings. As long as Kuang Tianzheng found an opportunity, he would likely kill him directly. With Kuang Tianzheng's attitude just now, it was clear that he would rather kill the wrong person than let him go. I never thought that before I even entered the Tianlong clan, I would make such an enemy. Duan Lingtian sighed in his heart. However, even without such an enemy, the Hidden Fog sect of the Tianlong clan would still view me as a thorn in their side. Within the Tianlong clan, those from the Linghu family, the Hidden Fog sect, and the 10,000 Demon sect had all gathered together. They were all on the same side as their previous families and sections. What? Wu Feng ran away? Not long after leaving the Linghu family and returning to the 10,000 Demon sect, Kuang Tianzheng received a message from Du Zhan. He was so angry that his face flushed red, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. At this moment, his intestines turned green with regret. Damn it! It must have been that Duan Lingtian who leaked the information. Chapter 3750. Before Kuang Tianzheng left, he went to the Linghu family and had his junior apprentice brother Du Zhan go to the Hidden Fog sect. Because he was so eager to take revenge for his disciple Mo Han, he didn't think too much about many things. Or, it could be said that at that time, all he thought about was how Duan Lingtian had killed the disciples of the Hidden Fog sect's Old Man Feng and Old Man Lei, Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. Whether it was Shangguan Xiongfeng or Long Xiao, they were top 5 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. Kuang Tianzheng had more or less heard of them. He knew that they were middle god kings, and their strength surpassed many high god kings. But Duan Lingtian had just become a lower god king, and yet he was able to kill them. With Duan Lingtian's methods, even if he hadn't broken through to the god king realm, it wouldn't be too difficult for him to kill his disciple Chu Han. Thus, when he left the 10,000 Demon sect and went to the Linghu family, all his thoughts were on Duan Lingtian. He didn't even think about how he was able to travel at the speed of a lower god emperor on a god emperor level flying ship. Compared to his junior apprentice brother Du Zhan, who was a lower god emperor, he was much faster. In fact, when he arrived at the Linghu family and Duan Lingtian saw him, his junior apprentice brother Du Zhan hadn't even arrived at the Hidden Fog sect. Senior apprentice brother, I was too slow. After Du Zhan returned to the 10,000 Demon sect, his face was filled with regret. It has nothing to do with you. Although Kuang Tianzheng was enraged, he didn't lose his reason. He waved his hand and said, I didn't calculate the time well and gave that Duan Lingtian a chance to inform Wu Feng. However, although Wu Feng ran away, we can confirm that the Wu Yishan and the so-called junior apprentice brother Duan, that Qianjun spoke of are the two of them. Duan Lingtian's strength is much stronger than what we knew. To be able to kill Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, disciples of the Hidden Fog sect's Old Man Wind and Thunder with a lower God King cultivation, that means he can jump 2 cultivation boundaries to fight and kill enemies. With his abilities before he became a lower Divine King, he could have easily killed my disciple Chu Han. Chu Han was most likely killed by him. As he spoke, Kuang Tianzheng took a deep breath and calmed down a little. However, there's no rush for now. According to what that Linghu Renjie said, that Duan Lingtian plans to participate in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition that our Tianlong clan will hold in 20 years. And the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition is only open to new disciples who have just passed the test and entered the sect. Since he will enter the Tianlong clan sooner or later, then I will wait for him in the Tianlong clan. I won't wait for him to grow up. Once he reaches the Tianlong clan, I'll make arrangements to kill him. Kuang Tianzheng's eyes were filled with killing intent. This time, there's no chance to kill him in the Linghu family? Du Zhan asked. Then he added, that Duan Lingtian's talent and perception are too monstrous. I feel that if we can kill him as soon as possible, it's better to do so. Although he had never seen the Duan Lingtian before, he had heard of him. It was enough for him to know just how monstrous and heaven-defying the other party was. I do want to kill him, Kuang Tianzheng said in a low voice. But that Linghu Renjie protected him to the death. In fact, when I wanted to kill him, that Linghu Renjie even activated the Linghu family's protective array. A defensive barrier fell from the sky, separating me from that Duan Lingtian. As Kuang Tianzheng spoke, he gnashed his teeth. That Linghu Renjie is clearly relying on the fact that his grandfather is the Tianlong clan's White Dragon Elder. That's why he dares to act so presumptuously in front of me. White Dragon Elder. Hearing Kuang Tianzheng's words, Du Zhan couldn't help but inwardly suck in a breath of cold air. The Tianlong clan's White Dragon Elder was almost equal to their myriad demon sect. There was also the Hidden Fog sect's core elder. They were all outstanding middle-level divine emperors, and their status in the Tianlong clan was also very high. As for their myriad demon sect, of all the people who had entered the Tianlong clan, the one who had done the best was the White Dragon Elder. Currently, their myriad demon sect had a senior who was the Tianlong clan's White Dragon Elder. It was extremely difficult for them to advance any further. Junior brother. Kuang Tianzheng looked at Du Zhan and changed the topic. Previously, I heard from Lan Qing that Duan Lingtian came from a Devata realm, and doesn't have any background in the Mystic Star Land. However, Wu Feng has a clan behind him. Based on the current situation, it's meaningless for me to stay here. I'll return to the sect and continue arranging the marriages of my disciples. Wu Feng's clan has most likely been moved away by him. However, it's best if you go and take a look. If he didn't manage to move his clan in time, you can use his clan to threaten him and kill him. Kuang Tianzheng said. Don't worry, senior brother. Du Zhan said confidently. Even if he moved his clan away, I'll do my best to find them. If I capture him, I'll personally send him to the Tianlong clan for senior brother to deal with. Upon hearing Du Zhan's words, Kuang Tianzheng nodded and smiled. Then I'll have to trouble you, junior brother. The marriage between my second disciple and vice sect leader Shui's daughter should be held within 3 years. At that time, I'll send you and Lan Qing an invitation in advance. At that time you can bring Pejun and Qianjun along. As soon as Kuang Tianzheng finished speaking, he left. After Kuang Tianzheng left, Du Zhan was still in a state of excitement. Vice Sect Leader Shui. He's the vice sect leader of the Tianlong clan. His position is so high that Elder Bailong can't compare to him. It seems like our myriad demon sect's strength has increased greatly in the Tianlong clan. We'll be able to suppress the Hidden Fog sect in one fell swoop. After a long while, Du Zhan finally calmed down. At the same time, he went to look for Lan Qing, the sect leader of the myriad demon sect, to ask him about Wu Feng's clan. The Linghu family. Ever since Duan Lingtian came to the Linghu family, the Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjie, took great care of him. As long as it was within Linghu Renjie's power, he would grant Duan Lingtian's request. Under these circumstances, not only did Duan Lingtian recognize Linghu Renjie as a person, but he also recognized Linghu Renjie as the leader of the Linghu family. For the next period of time, Duan Lingtian stayed in his residence to cultivate. However, even with the help of various divine pills and spirit fruits, his progress was still slow. He felt that it was extremely difficult to increase his cultivation in the Divine King realm. Under such circumstances, Duan Lingtian, who was bored, continued to study the law of space through the supreme powerhouse divinity. At the same time, he began to read books. The books were readily available in the Linghu family's library. Linghu Renjie had given Duan Lingtian a high level of clearance. As long as it was not a secret of the Linghu family, he could borrow it. There are so many things to pay attention to when refining divine pills. Duan Lingtian's main focus was on the pill refinement methods of divine alchemists in the realms of gods. What he had learned so far was only superficial. For example, when refining pills, divine pill masters had to rely on the law of fire to fuse their divine energy into the flames. Moreover, they had to control the intensity of the flames. This was similar to the alchemy methods in the Devata realms. However, as Duan Lingtian continued to read, he learned more. As it turned out, controlling the flames was only a part of the refining method. The other part relied on the law of wood. A divine alchemist with peerless talent in alchemy can even use the law of life to extract a trace of life energy from the divine tree of life in the realms of gods, and infuse it into his divine pills to further purify them, and increase the success rate and quality of his divine pills? Duan Lingtian was stunned when he read this. The divine tree of life? Naturally, he knew there was a divine tree of life in the realms of gods. However, he did not expect to be able to extract a trace of life energy from the divine tree of life in the realms of gods. Most importantly, he had the divine tree of life in his little world. He could have as much life energy as he wanted. In the realms of gods, one has to rely on the law of fire to gain basic mastery in alchemy, the law of wood to advance, and the law of life to perfect mastery. Powerful alchemists are usually skilled in controlling flames and using the law of wood to refine pills. Then they can use the law of life to extract life energy from the heaven and earth spirit energy to refine the pills. Duan Lingtian discovered after reading about the law of alchemy, he had the basic qualifications to become a top divine pill master in the realms of gods. Moreover, his qualifications were far superior to other divine pill masters. He could be said to be blessed by heaven. Naturally, the stronger the law of fire and the more profundities one can fuse, the better. However, in alchemy, one can't use the law of fire's fused profundities. Moreover, if one uses the fused profundities, the temperature of the cauldron would become unstable and cause the refinement to fail. Of course, there are also some divine alchemists who use the law of fire to heat the cauldron before concocting pills, allowing the cauldron to heat up faster. It's the same for the law of wood. All one has to do is master all profundities to the mastery stage. It's the same for the law of life. In other words, if I want to become a qualified divine pill master in the realms of gods, I don't have to waste my time comprehending these three laws. Duan Lingtian took a deep breath. Currently, I'm qualified to master the law of fire. As for the law of life, I've mastered all the profundities to the initial stage. As for the law of wood, I've also comprehended 2 profundities to the initial stage. When he was still in the Devata realm, Duan Lingtian had already comprehended all the profundities to the mastery stage when he was in the Tidal Temple's secret chamber. As for the law of life and the law of wood, He did not really comprehend them. He had to rely on the divine tree of life and the clear heavens divine wood to comprehend them. It seems like I'll have to use the Linghu family's secret chamber. With this thought in mind, Duan Lingtian contacted the clan leader of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia, and told him he wanted to use the Linghu family's secret chamber. Duan Lingtian. Linghu Renjia responded quickly. With your current attainments in the law of space, the Linghu family's secret chamber won't be of any help to you. You'll only be wasting your time if you enter the secret chamber. As soon as Linghu Renjia finished speaking, Duan Lingtian knew Linghu Renjia had misunderstood him. Clan leader, you've misunderstood. I don't intend to enter the secret chamber to comprehend the law of space. I want to enter the secret chamber to comprehend the law of life and the law of wood. Linghu Renjia's humanoid figure smiled faintly. Yes. The old man responded. As for his identity, it was also revealed when Linghu Renjia spoke. He was the Linghu family's fourth elder. The Linghu family was divided into inner clan and outer clan. Outer clan elders corresponded to the Hidden Fog sect's outer sect elders. Inner clan elders corresponded to the Hidden Fog sect's inner sect elders. Core elders were about the same. As the Linghu family's fourth elder, this old man was one of the Linghu family's core elders. He was an outstanding figure amongst the Linghu family's upper god kings. Duan Lingtian wants to enter the law chamber. He can stay as long as he wants. Don't rush him, Linghu Renjia said to the old man. As his voice fell, Linghu Renjia's humanoid figure completely vanished. As for the light that rose from the token, it was also completely restrained. Duan Lingtian? The old man looked at Duan Lingtian. At this time, Duan Lingtian's attention was also drawn to the appearance of Linghu Renjia's humanoid figure. It wasn't until he heard the old man's voice that he regained his composure. Duan Lingtian, I am the Linghu family's fourth elder, Linghu Hua. The old man looked at Duan Lingtian, stunned for a moment. Then he revealed a brilliant smile. I've long heard of your great name. You haven't even reached 3,000 years of age. And yet you've become a lower god king. Moreover, you've killed 2 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. Although those 2 core disciples were only middle god kings, they were stronger than ordinary upper god kings. As soon as Linghu Hua spoke, he mentioned that Duan Lingtian had killed the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. It was clear that this matter had already spread. Fourth elder overpraises me. I was just lucky. Duan Lingtian smiled. Duan Lingtian, you don't need to be modest in front of me. Linghu Hua smiled. Speaking of which, I can be considered the patriarch's cousin. There are many things that others don't know, but I do. However, I still have to tell you something. Joining the Linghu family is absolutely your best choice. What the Hidden Fog sect can give you, the Linghu family can also give you. What the Hidden Fog sect can't give you, the Linghu family can still give you. Linghu Hua said. Take this law chamber for example. You've seen it for yourself. Besides you, no one else has come here. This is because very few people come here. Every time the law chamber is used, it consumes a great deal of the divine stones in our Linghu family's divine stone mine. The consumption is enormous. Even the direct descendants can't come here whenever they want. As for the other juniors of our Linghu family, they all need to meet certain conditions before they have the chance to enter. Moreover, the time they can stay is limited. As for you, Duan Lingtian, the patriarch's order is that you can stay in the law chamber for as long as you want. There's no need to rush you. As Linghu Hua spoke, his gaze became particularly complex. Even now, as he recalled Linghu Renjia's words just now, Linghu Hua was shocked and filled with disbelief. This was the first time he had heard the patriarch give such an order. I feel it. Duan Lingtian nodded solemnly. He would always remember the care that Linghu Renjia gave him. If there was a chance in the future, he would repay this kindness. Go. Choose the law chamber you want to enter. Although there are no words at the entrance of each law chamber, it won't be difficult for you to discover what laws those law chambers correspond to. As soon as Ling Huhua finished speaking, Duan Lingtian found the law chamber of life and slowly walked in. He planned to comprehend all the profundities from the law of life to the mastery stage before he entered the law chamber of wood to comprehend the law of wood. When Wang Fu saw Duan Lingtian entering the law chamber, he turned around and left. The law chamber was an important place in the Linghu family. Unrelated people were not allowed to stay for long. This was not the first time Duan Lingtian had seen a law chamber, so he was familiar with it. Back when Duan Lingtian was still in the Devata realm, he had spent 3 months in the law chamber of the Tidal Temple to comprehend all the profundities from the law of fire and the law of earth to the mastery stage. Of course, that was also because he had extraordinary attainments in those 2 laws to begin with. This time, he had comprehended a law that he was not good at in the past. For this reason, it took Duan Lingtian 4 months to comprehend all the profundities from the law of life and the law of wood to the mastery stage. At this point, he had achieved all his goals. 4th Elder. After Duan Lingtian left the law chamber, he looked for Ling Huhua, the 4th elder of the Linghu family, who was still on duty in the law chamber. There's no law chamber of the law of time in the law chamber of the Linghu family? Before Duan Lingtian entered the law chamber of life, he had sensed various laws at the entrance of each law chamber. Apart from the 5 elemental laws, there was also the law of wind, the law of ice, and the law of thunder. There was also the law of darkness, the law of light, and the law of destruction. As for the 4 supreme laws apart from the law of time, there was also the law of space, the law of life, and the law of death. However, there was no law of time. At that time, his first thought was that he was not confident enough in his senses, so he did not think too much about it, and entered the law chamber of life directly. When he came out of the law chamber of life and entered the law chamber of wood, he carefully probed around but still did not find the law chamber of time. Now that he had come out of the law chamber of wood, he could not help but ask Ling Huhua, the 4th elder of the Linghu family. Before coming to the law chamber of the Linghu family, Duan Lingtian had not thought about the law of time. After coming here, he thought about how he had comprehended all the profundities from the law of time to the mastery stage in the land of inheritance that his master had obtained from the ultimate powerhouse. He wondered if he would have the opportunity to comprehend the fusion of 2 profundities from the law of time in the law chamber of the Linghu family. However, he could not find the law chamber of time even though he wanted to do so. Duan Lingtian. Ling Huhua was slightly taken aback by Duan Lingtian's question. However, when he regained his senses, he could not help but chuckle. Don't you know that only supreme powerhouses are capable of creating a secret chamber that contains the law of time? As long as it's not an ultimate powerhouse, no matter how good they are at setting up formations or even if they're a high-level supreme god, they can't set up the law of time. This is a public, iron law, in all the planes of gods. Chapter 3752. Only a supreme powerhouse could set it up. After listening to Ling Huhua's words, Duan Lingtian recalled the secret chamber that contained the law of time he entered in the Azura Hell, one of the 7 deadliest places in the Devata realms. It was the place where his master, Feng Qingyang, obtained the inheritance from a supreme powerhouse. It was left behind by a supreme powerhouse. I see. Realization dawned on Duan Lingtian at this moment. He was still thinking about improving his comprehension of the law of time in the Linghu family's secret chamber. Apart from the law of space, the law of time was the law of time that Duan Lingtian valued the most. The law of space was not weaker than any other law except for the law of time. As for the law of time, it was known as the strongest of the 4 supreme laws. It was the strongest of the 4 supreme laws, not to mention when compared to the other laws. Are you asking this because you still want to comprehend the law of time in our Linghu family's secret chamber? Ling Huhua shook his head. If the secret chamber in our Linghu family can allow one to comprehend the law of time, I'm afraid even the clan leader and the clan elders would want to enter it. Unfortunately, only a supreme powerhouse can set up a secret chamber that contains the law of time. In the Devata realms, only godly venerable rank forces that have a close relationship with a supreme powerhouse have a secret chamber that contains the law of time. Otherwise, it would be in the cultivation place of a supreme powerhouse. Naturally, the inheritance left behind by a supreme powerhouse might also have a secret chamber that contains the law of time, Ling Huhua said. Duan Lingtian smiled wryly. Upon hearing this, Duan Lingtian could not help but smile awkwardly. At the same time, Ling Huhua continued to say, as one of the 4 supreme laws, the law of time is the most mysterious and the most difficult to comprehend. Take our Linghu family as an example. In the history of our Linghu family, no one has ever comprehended all the profundities from the law of time to the mastery stage, let alone comprehending the fused profundities from the law of time. It's not that no one wants to focus on the temporal laws, but unless they never step into the divine king realm in their entire lives, there is no time for them to waste. In the planes of gods, apart from those who are naturally gifted with the law of time, or those who are extremely lucky to obtain divine fruits or time tablets, it's very difficult for them to stay true to themselves and focus on the law of time. Many people will discover that the time spent comprehending the laws of time can also be used to comprehend other laws, resulting in twice the result with half the effort. After hearing Ling Huhua's words, Duan Lingtian nodded in understanding. At the same time, he knew how lucky he was to be able to enter a secret chamber that contained the law of time left behind by a supreme expert. It was a privilege that most people in the realms of gods rarely had. As for what Ling Huhua said, he could understand. After all, in the realms of gods, one had to become a god king or they would not have much time to waste. Everyone was racing against time. Once they lost, they would be killed by the heavenly tribulation that existences above the level of God King would face once every 1,000 years, and their bodies and Tao would vanish. If one did not break through and become a God King, their soul would remain at the level of a god. It would not benefit them in comprehending the law of time. Although a stronger soul would not give them an advantage in comprehending the law of time, it would definitely be more advantageous than before. Young master. A voice rang from the staircase. It was none other than Wang Fu, whom Duan Lingtian had summoned earlier when he learned that there was no secret chamber of time in the Linghu family's secret chamber. Since Wang Fu had the token to enter and exit the secret chamber, he would need Wang Fu to lead the way. Fourth Elder, thank you for clearing my doubts. Since I've achieved my goal, I'll take my leave first. Since Wang Fu had arrived, Duan Lingtian bade farewell to Ling Huhua. All right. Ling Huhua smiled and nodded. He watched as Duan Lingtian brought Wang Fu away. A faint smile appeared on his face. Since the clan leader has recruited this young man into our Linghu family, it can be said that the Linghu family has picked up a treasure. Ling Huhua, naturally, knew that Duan Lingtian had not comprehended the law of life and the law of wood during the short time he had spent in the secret chamber. It seemed like Duan Lingtian had only comprehended the 2 profundities to the mastery stage before leaving the secret chamber. It seemed like he did not intend to continue using the secret chamber of the Linghu family. It was obvious he did not want to take advantage of the Linghu family. Such a person was worthy of recognition. He was not an ungrateful person. Moreover, his innate talent and comprehension ability were astounding. To the Linghu family, having a revered elder with a different surname was only beneficial. After Duan Lingtian left the secret chamber with Wang Fu, he returned to his room and took out a divine pill cauldron from his spatial ring. When Duan Lingtian was still in the Devata realms, he had obtained many divine artifacts in the ruins of the realms of gods, including 2 divine artifact pill cauldrons. In the realms of gods, divine pill cauldrons were not graded. It was even to the extent that powerhouses with high cultivations needed to suppress their divine power when refining pills. Otherwise, once the divine power fused with the law of fire became too rampant, it would destroy the herbs needed to refine pills, and even the pills that had yet to take shape. In the realms of gods, pill refinement relied on experience, innate talent, and the ability to sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy. Many divine alchemists were experienced and talented. However, since they could not sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy, let alone extract the life energy to aid in pill refinement, their success rate was not high. Moreover, even if they succeeded, the quality of the pills would not be high. As for some divine pills that had no difference in quality, such as the Emperor Connecting Divine Pill that the Heavenly Dragon sect took out last time, and this time in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition. It was impossible to refine it without the purification of life force during the refining process. Even if the life energy was used to refine the pills, it was not guaranteed that the pills would be refined successfully. It also depended on whether the life energy came in time, and the quantity was sufficient. Take the Tianlong clan's divine alchemist for example. He was able to refine more than 10 Emperor Ascension divine pills in 100 years. In terms of skill, he could be ranked second in the entire realms of gods. He was a divine alchemist that any Emperor God forces would kill to recruit. Such a divine alchemist was capable of refining Emperor-grade divine pills. Even if the success rate was not high, it was still possible. For a divine alchemist who did not have the ability to refine Emperor-grade divine pills, it would be a waste no matter how many materials were given to him. Let's try refining the Jia, Yi and Bing San divine pills first. Duan Ling Tian recalled the 3 divine pills he had obtained at the Heavenly Wind City's Zhou clan's auction after he arrived at the Profound Handle land. It was precisely those 3 divine pills that helped his cultivation base to improve in a short period of time. At that time, he had snatched the 3 divine pills from the 4th master of the Zhou clan in Heavenly Wind City. The spatial ring that Chu Han had left behind had a few sets of the herbs needed to refine the Jia, Yi and Bing San divine pills. In fact, there were many herbs needed to refine the divine pills. Is Chu Han a divine alchemist as well? Duan Lingtian guessed. In fact, Chu Han was a divine alchemist. The reason why Kuang Tianzheng, an inner sect elder of the Sky Dragon sect, chose Chu Han was not only because of Chu Han's martial talent, but also because of Chu Han's talent in alchemy. Although Chu Han had not broken through to the God King realm, he could refine spirit-grade divine pills. He could even refine ordinary king-grade divine pills. Divine pills of the same grade were divided into different grades. For example, the Emperor Ascension divine pill that could help a higher God King to break through to the lesser God Emperor realm was an Emperor-grade divine pill. Moreover, it was not an ordinary Emperor-grade divine pill. For this reason, the Emperor Ascension divine pill was one of the top Emperor-grade divine pills that could be used by God Kings. It could be said that it was a divine pill that every God King dreamed of. The old sect master of the Sky Dragon sect was able to refine Emperor-grade divine pills. He was already considered an Emperor-grade divine pill master. Of course, there's also a difference in strength between Emperor-grade divine pill masters. The weaker ones can barely refine Emperor-grade divine pills, but their success rate is pitifully low and their waste of materials is shocking. A strong Emperor-grade divine pill master has a stable success rate when refining Emperor-grade divine pills. They can refine ordinary Emperor-grade divine pills with ease, and the success rate of refining Emperor-grade divine pills is astonishing. If I'm not wrong, the old clan leader of the Tianlong clan is considered a strong Emperor-grade divine pill master. It was not difficult for Duan Lingtian to figure out that the Tianlong clan was able to produce so many Emperor Ascension divine pills in 100 years. In the realms of gods, the highest level of divine pill masters were venerable-grade divine pill masters. Below them were Emperor-grade divine pill masters, Royal-grade divine pill masters, King-grade divine pill masters, and Spirit-grade divine pill masters. For example, Chu Han, who was killed by Duan Lingtian, could be considered a king-grade divine pill master because he could refine king-grade divine pills. Let's practice first. In the realms of gods, most of the recipes for divine pills were no secret. After all, even if the recipes were leaked, not everyone could refine them. This was especially true for some pill formulas. Although the required medicinal ingredients were recorded, if the key points of the technique were not written, even the divine alchemist who had the ability to refine the divine pills recorded in the formula would often fail due to the lack of technique. The higher the grade of the divine pill, the more particular the recipe was. Naturally, for spirit-grade divine pills like the Jia Yi Bing divine pill, the recipe had been improved many times over the long history of the realms of gods. Even the technique recorded in the recipe had been improved continuously. Therefore, any spirit-grade divine pill master with some skill would be able to refine it. Although there was a ready-made recipe, It was still difficult to put it into practice. Every step could not be wrong. Just like now, Duan Lingtian's first attempt at refining the Jia Yi Bing divine pill had failed. In the process of refining the Jia Yi Bing divine pill with the law of wood, the cauldron exploded and the incomplete Jia Yi Bing divine pill was turned into useless dregs. I actually failed. Duan Lingtian felt a little disappointed when he saw the dregs pouring out of the cauldron. Am I not talented in this area? Am I not suitable to be a divine pill master? If other divine pill masters heard Duan Lingtian's words, they would definitely beat him to death. It was Duan Lingtian's first time refining a divine pill. Moreover, the Jia Yi Bing divine pill was one of the top spirit-grade divine pills. Divine pill masters who could refine the Jia Yi Bing divine pill were as rare as phoenix feathers and qilin horns in the realms of gods. Chapter 3753. From Duan Lingtian's point of view, the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill was only a spirit-level divine pill. Moreover, the recipe that he had memorized in the Linghu family's library was a refined version. Every step was very detailed, and even the strength of the technique was standardized. It was too much of a blow for him to fail under such circumstances. Let's try again. Just nice, there's still one more set of ingredients to refine the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill. If I fail again, I'll stop studying pill refinement for the time being. Maybe I'm really not cut out to be a divine pill master. With a nervous heart, Duan Lingtian began refining the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill again. This time, he was even more serious than before. Every step was done according to the description of the pill formula in his memory. Not a single mistake was made. Soon it was time to refine. After failing once, Duan Lingtian was even more careful. Then he successfully passed the refining stage. Normally, after refining he could condense the pill. After all, it was only a spirit-level divine pill. Divine pill masters who refine this kind of divine pill basically did not have the ability to extract the life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to further refine the divine pill. Moreover, even if a spirit-level divine pill was not purified, the success rate was very high. It was not like a divine pill above the emperor level, which could not be formed without purification. Should I refine it? However, Duan Lingtian now wanted to refine the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill that was about to condense. According to the recipe, a divine pill master who has the ability to refine the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill will have a 100% success rate once the refinement is successful. If the refinement fails, this cauldron of Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill will be wasted. If I don't refine it and condense it directly, the success rate will be more than 60%. If I condense it directly now, whether or not it will be formed completely depends on the will of the heavens. Should I try refining it? It was not easy to get to this step. He had not made any mistakes before, and was about to condense the pill. Duan Lingtian did not want to leave all this to the will of the heavens. Moreover, he did not need to extract the life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. He could just get it from the divine tree of life in his small world. To be precise, he just needed to let the life force in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth that filled his small world. The small world in his body was completely under his control. With a single thought, the condensed life force gushed out from the small world in his body and entered the divine artifact pill cauldron before him. After a while, Duan Lingtian stopped pouring in his divine power of life, because it was enough. He had even channeled the power of life to the limit that the Jia Yi Bing San divine pill could absorb. If there was an emperor-grade divine pill master or above, seeing Duan Lingtian obtain so much life force from refining pills, they would definitely be dumbfounded. If they saw Duan Lingtian injecting so much life force into the cauldron used to concoct spirit-grade divine pills, they would definitely scold Duan Lingtian for being a wastrel. One had to know that even the most outstanding emperor-grade divine pill alchemist wouldn't be able to extract even a tenth of what Duan Lingtian was injecting into his pill cauldron. Extravagant. It was too extravagant. Of course, the current Duan Lingtian didn't have any concept of this. He only knew that the first divine pill he had concocted was about to take shape. Moreover, it would definitely take shape. There was no need to worry about failure. It's done. As Duan Lingtian's consciousness trembled, he casually patted the divine artifact pill cauldron in front of him. Immediately, the lid of the pill cauldron folded up and 3 divine pills flew out at lightning speed. Duan Lingtian, who had been prepared for this, casually grabbed the 3 divine pills in his hand. The 3 divine pills shone brightly, just like the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills that Duan Lingtian had obtained before. However, the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills that he had obtained at the Zhou family's auction in Tianfeng City didn't smell as good as the ones he had concocted now. Moreover, there was a thick layer of light around the 3 divine pills. There are patterns on them? Soon after, the sharp-eyed Duan Lingtian clearly saw the obvious pill inscriptions on the first, second, and third divine pills in his hand. Moreover, the pill inscriptions were in the form of ancient words. Coincidentally, Duan Lingtian had read these ancient words when he was in the Devata realms. Jia Yi Bing. The pill veins on the 3 divine pills were formed from ancient characters. Pill patterns? Didn't they say that only supreme divine pills would have pill patterns on them? Why would the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills that I concocted for the first time have pill patterns on them? As soon as this thought appeared in Duan Lingtian's mind, a thunderous roar rang in the sky above his residence. Uncle Fu, what's going on? At the same time, in the front courtyard of Duan Lingtian's residence, a few maids were looking up at the sky as they asked Wang Fu, who was standing nearby with a confused expression on their faces. Wang Fu was also confused as he looked at the dark clouds in the sky. This looks like a heavenly tribulation. But none of us are undergoing a heavenly tribulation here. None of you are even God Kings. I just passed my heavenly tribulation 300 years ago. As for young master's heavenly tribulation, I think he has already passed it. Wang Fu was still in a daze when the sound of wind whistling could be heard coming from the roof of one of the rooms in the residence. Uncle Fu, look. What's that? It seems like it came from young master's room. A few maids with sharp eyes said to Wang Fu one after another. Before Wang Fu could react, a loud bang rang in the air as a figure shot up into the sky above the room. Young master? Wang Fu could not help but fly up into the air when he saw the figure in front of him. His instincts told him this had something to do with his young master. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. At some point in time, numerous figures had already gathered over from all directions. These people, without exception, were all elders and disciples of the Linghu family. What's going on? That residence seems to belong to Duan Lingtian, the new revered elder of the Linghu family. Revered Elder Duan seems to have become a lesser god king some time ago. He should have passed his first heavenly tribulation a long time ago. Don't tell me it belongs to the steward beside him? I know the steward beside Revered Elder Duan. He passed his heavenly tribulation 300 years ago. That's strange. Before long, many figures had gathered in the sky above Duan Lingtian's residence. Without Duan Lingtian's permission, they did not dare to enter the sky above Duan Lingtian's residence. They could only watch from afar. Patriarch! 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 A corner of the crowd automatically opened up a path for a figure to step through the air. It was none other than the patriarch of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia. Behind Linghu Renjia was a white-haired old man. At this moment, his eyes were shining as he looked at the dark clouds that were brewing above the residence. The lightning in the dark clouds was not purple. Instead, it was reddish-brown. It looked extremely strange. Revered Elder Wu, this tribulation cloud seems a little off. It doesn't look like the tribulation cloud of a god king. Linghu Renjia looked at the tribulation cloud above the residence and said to the old man behind him, Patriarch, this is not the tribulation cloud of a human tribulation. It's the tribulation cloud of an elixir tribulation. The old man behind Linghu Renjia corrected Linghu Renjia after hearing Linghu Renjia's words. This is the heavenly tribulation caused by an ultimate divine pill. An ultimate divine pill. When the old man said this, Linghu Renjia could not help but gasp. An ultimate divine pill. Although he was not a divine pill master, he knew what the words ultimate divine pill meant. It meant the pinnacle of a certain type of divine pill, The ultimate. The same type of divine pill could be refined by different divine pill masters. There would be differences in quality. Even if they were of the same grade, there would still be differences in quality. There was a limit to every type of divine pill. At that limit, there would be no more breakthroughs. This type of divine pill was also called an ultimate divine pill. Boom. Rumble. While Linghu Renjie was still in shock, the tribulation cloud above the residence finally struck down tribulation lightning. Bolts of lightning as thick as a baby's arm fell from the sky and struck the 3 little light spots in the void. In the next moment, a burst of light circulated above the 3 specks of light, and then they actually completely absorbed the lightning. Then the second bolt of tribulation lightning fell. This time, it was much thicker than the previous one. However, it was still absorbed by the 3 little light spots. At the same time, the tribulation cloud dispersed and the sky returned to normal. It's the pill tribulation. Oh my God! Is this the legendary pill tribulation of an ultimate divine pill? This pill tribulation has a total of 2 bolts of tribulation lightning. This is the pill tribulation of an ultimate divine pill. Those 3 little light spots look like Jia Bing San divine pills? Among the onlookers from the Linghu family, there was no lack of experienced and knowledgeable people. At this time, they also came back to their senses one after another. Each and every one of them stared at the 3 divine pellets that had fallen into the purple-clothed youth's hand. An ultimate divine pill. In the past, they had only heard of it but had never seen it before. Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian had just put away the Jia Bing San divine pills when a familiar voice entered his ears. He instinctively looked in the direction of the voice and saw the head of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjie, walking over with an old man in tow. Head of the family. After greeting Linghu Renjie, Duan Lingtian was shocked to see the group of onlookers in the sky outside his mansion. He had only just realized that there were so many people here. Just now, his attention was focused on the pill tribulation of the divine pills. He was afraid that the pill tribulation would destroy the Jia Bing San divine pills that he had just refined. If an ultimate divine pill could not withstand the pill tribulation, and was destroyed by the pill tribulation, it could only be considered a flawed and imperfect ultimate divine pill. Only an ultimate divine pill that could withstand the pill tribulation could be considered a true ultimate divine pill. Of course, even an ultimate divine pill that could attract the pill tribulation, and then be destroyed by the pill tribulation was not something that anyone could refine. Duan Lingtian, which senior refined the Jia Bing San divine pills that you just put away? This was the first sentence Linghu Renjie asked as he approached. He was really too curious. At the same time, he looked left and right in an attempt to find the person who had refined the pills. He naturally did not dare to hope that such a heaven-defying person would stay in the Linghu family, but as long as he was lucky enough to meet him, it would be a blessing that he had cultivated for 8 lifetimes. Chapter 3754. Even if it was only a spirit-grade divine pill, it was impossible for a divine pill master to refine a spirit-grade divine pill without the ability to extract life force from the world energy. Moreover, even if a divine pill master had the ability to extract life force from the world energy, not everyone could refine a spirit-grade divine pill. Even if it was only a spirit-grade divine pill, only those divine pill masters who could extract a certain amount of life force from the heaven and earth spiritual chi to refine pills could refine extreme spirit-grade divine pills. As for higher grades of spirit-grade divine pills, they required even more life force to support them. However, even if it was a spirit-grade divine pill master, one had to be at least an emperor-grade divine pill master to be able to refine a spirit-grade divine pill master. A God Emperor grade force like the Linghu family would not be able to keep such a person because such a person would be an honored guest even in a God Emperor grade force like the Tianlong clan. Which senior? Hearing Linghu Renjie's question, Duan Lingtian was stunned. It's the 3 divine pills that you just put away. Which senior refined them? Linghu Renjie saw that Duan Lingtian was stunned, as if he did not hear his question clearly, so he quickly repeated his question. You mean these 3 divine pills? This time, Duan Lingtian heard him clearly and took out the Jia, Yi, and Bingsan divine pills from his storage ring. After the baptism of the pill tribulation, the halo around the 3 divine pills seemed to have an additional strand of brownish-red lightning circling them. Moreover, there seemed to be brownish-red lightning energy flowing on the pill patterns on their surface, making them look extraordinary. That's right. Linghu Renjie nodded and said, normally speaking, a pill tribulation will be triggered after a peak-grade divine pill is refined. Didn't you go to the law chamber to comprehend the law of wood and law of life, because you wanted to learn how to refine pills some time ago? After you came out today, you probably went to find a senior divine pill master, and asked him to teach you how to refine pills, right? What about that senior? As Linghu Renjie asked, his tone couldn't help but become urgent. Duan Lingtian had heard the news from the Linghu family's 4th elder the moment he came out of the law chamber. There's no senior. Duan Lingtian shook his head and looked at the 3 elixir pills in his hand. I just made these Jia Yi Bing Sen elixir pills myself. As soon as Duan Lingtian said this, Linghu Renjie was stunned. Even the old man behind him and the nearby hungry Wang Fu were stunned. Even Wang Fu, after seeing the pill tribulation of the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill, subconsciously thought that it was a divine pill refined by someone else. But now, after hearing the young master he served, he remembered that apart from bringing this young master into the law chamber, he was basically in this mansion all the time. If someone came in or out, he would definitely know. However, no outsiders had ever entered or exited. Young master, he's actually a divine pill master, who can refine an ultimate divine pill? Wang Fu was shocked. When he looked at Duan Lingtian again, his eyes were filled with reverence. At the same time, Linghu Renjie finally regained his senses. He stared at Duan Lingtian dumbfounded. Duan Lingtian, you're not joking, are you? I'm not. Duan Lingtian shook his head seriously. I'm telling the truth. But, when Linghu Renjie spoke again, he couldn't help but stutter. What Duan Lingtian had just said was too shocking. But didn't you just comprehend the laws of life and the laws of wood and learn how to refine pills? Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded again. Today was my first attempt at refining a divine pill. However, I've refined 2 cauldrons of Jia Yi and Bing San divine pills. However, I failed in the first cauldron because I didn't refine the ingredients properly. At that time, I wondered if it was because I didn't have the talent to refine pills. After all, the formula for the Jia Yi and Bing San divine pills clearly stated the steps and details of the pill refinement. I shouldn't have messed it up. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Linghu Renjie studied Duan Lingtian a few times. When he was certain Duan Lingtian was not playing dumb, the corners of his mouth twitched uncontrollably. Was it not normal for one to fail in their first attempt at refining pills? As far as Linghu Renjie knew, even if a divine pill master who had ascended to the realms of gods had a high level of attainment in pill refinement, he would be considered talented if he could succeed in refining spirit-grade divine pills in the realms of gods once out of 10 attempts. However, Duan Lingtian said he was not talented in pill refinement after failing in his first attempt at refining pills? At this moment, apart from Linghu Renjie, even the old man behind him could not help but feel his mouth twitching uncontrollably. Duan Lingtian did not notice the twitching of the 2 old men's mouths as he continued to speak. However, it just so happened that I had a set of ingredients to refine the Jia Yi and Bing San divine pills, so I tried to refine them a second time. At that time, I thought to myself that if I failed again, I would never touch a cauldron again. Finally, the second time, under my careful efforts, I finally succeeded. However, I didn't expect I would be able to refine a supreme-grade divine pill, and even face a pill tribulation. Fortunately, it passed the pill tribulation. If it didn't, I would have suspected that I'm not suitable for pill refinement. After all, if it didn't pass the pill tribulation, it would have been destroyed. When Duan Lingtian reached the end of his sentence, his expression was still serious. However, when Linghu Renjie saw this, he felt an urge to beat him up. At this moment, the onlookers had also heard Duan Lingtian's words from beginning to end. When they heard this, they had the urge to rush up to Duan Lingtian and give him a good beating. Do you guys think this revered elder Duan really doesn't understand the logic behind this, or is he purposely trying to piss people off? I think he's trying to piss people off. This is so infuriating. I can barely be considered a king-grade pill refinement master. However, when I was refining pills, I wasted more than 20 cauldron divine pills before I successfully refined a divine pill. He's only done it twice, and he's saying he doesn't have the talent for pill refinement? I also think he's trying to piss people off. Moreover, he's showing off. However, I don't have any evidence. Why do I feel like this revered elder Duan deserves a beating? I really want to beat him up. I feel the same way. I think so too. The onlookers, elders, and disciples of the Linghu family looked at Duan Lingtian with hostility. When Duan Lingtian heard their discussion, realization dawned on him. It seemed like his second attempt at refining a divine pill was a sign of his innate talent. It did not mean he had failed to refine a divine pill, or that he did not have the talent for pill refinement. For a moment, Duan Lingtian felt much better. Fortunately, he did not give up just because of his first failure. Fortunately, he had tried a second time. Otherwise, he would have lost a genius like him in the realms of gods. Moreover, he would have missed the opportunity to become a divine pill refinement master. Fortunately, revered elder Duan. At this moment, the old man behind Linghu Renjia spoke up. He looked at Duan Lingtian in disbelief and asked, "Why you? Is this really your first time refining a divine pill?" "Yes." Duan Lingtian nodded. Then he looked at Linghu Renjia in confusion and asked, "Clan leader, this is?" Linghu Renjia finally regained his senses. He quickly introduced the old man to Duan Lingtian. "Duan Lingtian, this is the chief alchemist of the Linghu family, revered elder Lin Yan. Revered elder Lin is a good friend of mine. We've gone through thick and thin together in the past." Linghu Renjia introduced. Revered elder Lin. Duan Lingtian hurriedly greeted the old man when he heard Lin Yan's greeting. As for Lin Yan, his face and ears turned red when he heard Linghu Renjia's introduction. After greeting Duan Lingtian politely, he glared at Linghu Renjia and said, "Linghu Renjia, you're here to embarrass me, aren't you? What kind of chief alchemist am I in front of a divine pill refinement master like revered elder Duan, who can refine a supreme grade divine pill?" When Lin Yan reached the end of his sentence, there was a hint of bitterness and self-deprecation in his tone. Linghu Renjia smiled bitterly. "Old man, didn't you hear Duan Lingtian say today is his first time refining a divine pill?" "That's right." Duan Lingtian nodded as well. At the same time, his eyes lit up as he looked at Lin Yan. "Revered elder Lin, I refined the pills according to the pill formulas recorded in the Linghu clan's library today. The pill formula I used has your name on it. You must be the one who compiled it, right? Revered elder Lin, I've just started learning how to refine pills. There are still many things I don't understand. I hope you can guide me in the future." Duan Lingtian's enthusiasm did not seem fake at all. It made Lin Yan feel bitter in his heart. What kind of genius was this? How could he refine a supreme grade divine pill on his first day? Lin Yan took a deep breath before he shook his head and said, "Revered elder Duan, I don't dare to guide you. Let's learn from each other." What a joke. Duan Lingtian was someone who could refine a supreme grade divine pill. Even if it was only a spirit grade divine pill, it was not something Lin Yan could refine. "Revered elder Lin, you're too humble. You're the chief alchemist of the Linghu clan. How can I compare to you?" Duan Lingtian said. Now, if not for Duan Lingtian's sincere tone and innocent eyes, Lin Yan might not have been able to hold himself back and beat him up. This was too infuriating. How could anyone be so infuriating? Lin Yan took a few deep breaths before he regained his senses. He asked curiously, "Revered elder Duan, even if it's a spirit-grade divine pill, it needs to be purified with life force during the refining process in order to make it into a supreme-grade divine pill. You're able to extract life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth on your first day of refining pills?" Lin Yan changed the topic. He was worried that if he continued to listen to Duan Lingtian, he would be so angry that he would not be able to hold himself back from beating Duan Lingtian up. Duan Lingtian nodded. Yes, isn't it very simple? I followed some small techniques recorded in the Linghu clan's library. I merged my divine power with the Edict of Life, and sensed the life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Then, I extracted the life force and used it to refine pills. Duan Ling Tian said solemnly. I remember there's your signature next to the memory jade token as well. It must be the memory jade token you left behind. Revered Elder Lin, you're really amazing. The technique you left behind allowed me to extract life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth in just one day. Chapter 3755. What? Lin Yan was taken aback when he heard Duan Lingtian's words, and saw the serious expression on Duan Lingtian's face. You're extracting the life energy according to the technique I recorded in the library? That's right. Duan Lingtian nodded. Without waiting for Lin Yan's reply, Duan Lingtian's divine energy flashed as the law of life merged with his divine energy. Then, under Lin Yan's horrified gaze, Duan Lingtian extracted a wisp of life energy from the heaven and earth spiritual energy. Although it was not as much as the life energy he extracted from his little world, it was still a considerable amount. At the very least, Lin Yan was stunned. It was as if he had been scared silly. This was what Duan Lingtian discovered when he used the life energy from his little world. He discovered that after using the life force, even if it was not the life force of his miniature world, he could still clearly sense it and draw it away at will. Naturally, the amount and density of the life energy he extracted from the little world was far inferior to the life energy in his little world. This was because Duan Lingtian had a divine tree of life in his little world. He could extract the life energy from the air around the divine tree of life. It was the purest and densest life energy. It was only natural that he would be able to refine pills with half the effort. However, Duan Lingtian did not tell Lin Yan that he was holding back when he extracted the life energy from the air. If he unleashed his full strength, he was confident he could extract all the life energy from the heaven and earth spiritual energy in his surroundings. Due to the divine tree of life in his body, his little world was filled with rich life energy. In terms of sensitivity to the life energy emitted by the divine tree of life, apart from the supreme experts, only someone like Duan Lingtian, who had a divine tree of life in his little world, would be able to detect it. Under such circumstances, Duan Lingtian could clearly sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy. Not only that, but he could also absorb it. In this regard, most divine alchemists in the realms of gods were no match for Duan Lingtian. When Linghu Renjia looked at Lin Yan finally recovered from his daze. He smiled bitterly and sighed. What you used was indeed a small technique that I used to extract the spirit energy of heaven and earth. However, even I could only extract a small amount of life force from the spirit energy of heaven and earth with this small technique. The amount of life force you're extracting right now is much greater than the amount I'm extracting. This little trick was indeed his. He also stayed with the Linghu family. However, even if many people knew his little trick, they still couldn't extract the life force from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. This was because anyone who wanted to extract the life force needed to sense the life force in the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. His little trick was to allow a person to extract as much life force as possible from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth that they sensed. It's no wonder you're able to refine supreme spirit-grade divine pills. With this amount of life force, any spirit-grade divine pill would be able to be refined into a supreme spirit-grade divine pill. Putting everything else aside, your ability to extract the life force from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth is already comparable to a top emperor-grade divine alchemist. In fact, it's comparable to an ordinary emperor-grade divine alchemist. Only Duan Lingtian and Linghu Renjia, who were standing close to him, could hear the last part of his sentence. Even Wang Fu, who was standing nearby, could not hear him. Most of the onlookers were watching from afar. Naturally, the conversation between Duan Lingtian and Wang Fu was more than enough for the onlookers to find out what they wanted to know. Heavens! Revered Elder Duan learned this from Revered Elder Lin Yan? Is this considered as the student surpassing the master? I heard from revered elder Ling Yan that Duan Ling Tian extracted more life force from the spiritual qi of heaven and earth than he did. If that's the case, doesn't that mean the young revered elder Duan from the Linghu family is already an emperor-grade divine alchemist when he just learned how to refine pills? I can only say that he's at the level of an emperor-grade divine alchemist when it comes to extracting life force. In fact, he's even more skilled than most emperor-grade divine alchemists. But isn't this the most difficult step in refining a divine pill? That's right. Practice makes perfect with the other steps. Only this step requires one to be able to sense the life force from the spiritual qi of heaven and earth. It's also because of this that divine alchemists who are skilled in the law of life have a unique advantage in this aspect. Duan Ling Tian could not help but chuckle inwardly when he heard the discussions of the onlookers. It was true that divine alchemists who were skilled in the law of life had an advantage in extracting life force from spiritual weapons. However, that was all there was to it. Duan Ling Tian might not be skilled in the law of life, but because of the divine tree of life in his little world, he was far more sensitive to the life force from the heaven and earth spiritual qi than anyone else. Perhaps, only those who had realms of gods as little worlds in their bodies would be able to match him in this aspect. This was because every realm of gods had a divine tree of life. Moreover, Duan Ling Tian had heard from the world-cleansing divine water in his body that every realm of gods required a divine tree of life to support it. Without a divine tree of life, his little world would not be able to develop into a realm of gods. At that time, Duan Ling Tian had wondered where the divine tree of life had come from. Then he thought about his own situation. Although he was not a supreme expert, he had a divine tree of life in his little world. Would he be able to develop his little world with the help of the divine tree of life in the future? At that time, if he became a supreme expert, would he be able to kill a supreme expert from a realm of gods and replace that realm of gods with his little world, to become a new realm of gods? At that time, one of the realms of gods would belong to Duan Ling Tian. After all, it was his little world. Let's disperse. Linghu Renjie looked at the onlookers and said in a clear voice. After listening to Ling Yan's words in a hushed tone, he had many questions to ask Duan Ling Tian, and many things he wanted to say. With so many onlookers around, it was obviously inconvenient. After all, Linghu Renjie was the clan leader of the Linghu family. Although the onlookers were reluctant to leave, they still dispersed. During this time, Duan Ling Tian received many voice transmissions. Duan Ling Tian, I'm Yuan Yu, the clan leader of the Linghu family. My mansion is 2 blocks north of yours. If you have time, feel free to come and find me for tea or wine. Duan Ling Tian, I'm Duan Ling Tian, The voice transmissions were all directed at Duan Ling Tian. It was clear that Duan Ling Tian's ability to refine a supreme divine pill had made them realize Duan Ling Tian's potential. After all, Duan Ling Tian came to the Linghu family with the reputation of being a monstrous genius. However, he had the potential to become an emperor-grade divine pill master, even though he had just started learning how to refine pills. Such an all-rounder talent would definitely soar to the sky in the future. If they did not take this opportunity to befriend him, they would not have the chance to do so in the future. In the beginning, Duan Ling Tian found the person who sent the voice transmissions and exchanged pleasantries with him. However, in the end he did not respond at all. In the end he did not reply at all. After a few moments, the crowd around Duan Ling Tian's mansion dispersed. The originally noisy environment had completely returned to its original tranquility at this moment. Within the courtyard, Wang Fu led the others away, and Duan Ling Tian, Linghu Renjie, and Lin Yan sat around the wooden table in the pergola within the courtyard. Revered Elder Duan, you have a foundation in pill refinement, right? For example, before coming to the realms of gods, did you refine celestial pills in the Devata realms? Lin Yan asked as soon as he sat down. Yes. Duan Ling Tian nodded. When I was in the Devata realms, I started to refine celestial pills, but I didn't really do much after that. However, before I ascended to the Devata realms, I did have some achievements in pill refinement when I was still in the mundane realms. If Duan Ling Tian's peers who came from the mundane realms heard his words, they would definitely roll their eyes at him. In the mundane realms, If Duan Lingtian said he was second in pill refinement, who would dare to say they were first? As expected. Lin Yan sighed in relief. I was just thinking about how you managed to refine the Jia, Yi and Bing San divine pills on your second try. It's impossible that you're able to refine the Jia, Yi and Bing San divine pills on your second try. It's normal if you have a foundation in pill refinement. After all, the refinement of divine pills in the realms of gods isn't as complicated as the refinement of celestial pills in the Devata realms. The most important part is the purification process. Lin Yan stared at Duan Lingtian intently as he said, Revered Elder Duan, based on your performance today, I'm sure you have the potential to become an Emperor-grade divine pill master, or even a Supremacy-grade divine pill master. A Supremacy-grade divine pill master. Duan Lingtian was not surprised, but Ling Hu Renjie was shocked when he heard Lin Yan's words. One had to know that even the old ancestor of the Heavenly Dragon sect was only an ordinary Emperor-grade divine alchemist who was coveted by several peak Emperor-grade divine alchemists in the Eastern Ridge Prefecture. However, Ling Yan said Duan Lingtian had the potential to become a revered grade divine alchemist, an Emperor-grade divine alchemist? Ling Hu Renjie knew his old friend very well. He was not one to speak without thinking. In other words, Lin Yan had high hopes for Duan Lingtian. You're too kind, revered Elder Lin. Duan Lingtian shook his head and smiled wryly. I'm only a beginner now. I still have a long way to go before I can refine divine pills. I hope you'll be able to guide me in the future, revered Elder Lin. Duan Lingtian was not trying to keep a low profile. He just felt he was lacking a lot in the Tao of alchemy in the realms of gods. Let's not talk about anything else. Take the king-grade divine pill formulas that he found in the Linghu family's library as an example. There were many things he could not understand. Theoretically, he could not understand those things. Only the pill formulas of spirit-level divine pills could be understood by him based on his past alchemy experience, because compared to the pill formulas of king-level divine pills, it was much simpler. Chapter 3756. When Duan Lingtian saw the awkward expression on Lin Yan's face after listening to his words, he quickly explained his current situation to Lin Yan. The awkward expression on Lin Yan's face disappeared, and was replaced by a smile. Revered Elder Duan, the things you didn't understand are just the basics of a divine alchemist. If you're interested, I can teach you. At this moment, Lin Yan finally understood that the purple-clad young man before him was indeed a novice among divine alchemists in the realms of gods. He did not even know the basics. Naturally, these things were rarely recorded. Most of them were passed down by word of mouth since they were complicated and flexible. It was difficult to record them in words. Thank you, revered Elder Lin. Duan Lingtian thanked Lin Yan profusely. At this moment, Lin Yan turned to look at Ling Hu Renjie and said, Ling Hu, you've really picked up a gem. With revered Elder Duan's foundation in pill refinement, he'll be able to become an outstanding Emperor-grade divine alchemist in a short time once he understands the basics. Previously, you asked me to help him refine divine pills. In my opinion, we should wait for him to master the basics before asking him to refine king-grade divine pills. Who knows, he might be able to refine 1 or 2 supreme divine pills. Lin Yan said. At this moment, Duan Lingtian learned from Lin Yan that Ling Hu Renjie had sought Lin Yan's help in pill refinement in order to improve his cultivation base as quickly as possible. In that case, we'll wait for Duan Lingtian to master the basics before I give him the materials to refine the divine pills. Ling Hu Renjie nodded. Then he looked at Lin Yan and said, It seems like before Duan Lingtian leaves the Ling Hu family, I can't let you refine the important divine pills. It'll be a waste of materials if I let you refine them. It's better to let Duan Lingtian refine them. Ling Hu Renjie smiled brightly when he finished speaking. If that's the case, then I'll leave the Ling Hu family and continue to be a carefree wild crane. Ling Hu Renjie was not angry. Instead, he replied calmly to Ling Hu Renjie. The smile on Ling Hu Renjie's face instantly froze. After a while, he laughed awkwardly and said, Just kidding, just kidding. Duan Lingtian might become an outstanding alchemist, But he couldn't stay in the Linghu family forever. Even if Duan Lingtian did not become an outstanding member of the Duan Lingtian family, he would leave the Linghu family and enter the Tianlong clan in 20 years. His talent was top-notch, and his comprehension was monstrous. Even if the Linghu family forced him to stay, it would only slow him down. Moreover, he couldn't stay in the Linghu family forever. In the next 20 years, he might be able to ask Duan Lingtian to refine some important alchemy pills. But in 20 years, when Duan Lingtian went to the Tianlong clan, he couldn't just ask Duan Lingtian to refine any alchemy pills. In the following period of time, either Linghu Renjie came to Duan Lingtian's residence, or Duan Lingtian went to Linghu Renjie's residence. Duan Lingtian also gradually grasped the basics of refining alchemy pills that he had not come into contact with in the past. During this period of time, the news of Duan Lingtian refining the ultimate Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill also spread to the Linghu family. It didn't take long for the news to spread throughout the entire Linghu city, and it continued to spread to the surrounding areas. Ultimate divine pill. In the history of the Linghu family, no one had ever refined an ultimate divine pill. Even if it was a spirit-level divine pill that was even more ordinary than the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill, no one had ever refined an ultimate divine pill. Thus, once this news spread through Linghu city, it caused a great sensation. Heavens! Is that Duan Lingtian an all-around talent? Not only does he have monstrous talent and perception, but he also became a lower god king at such a young age. Moreover, he has the strength to defeat an ordinary upper god king. And he is also a divine alchemist? He can even refine an ultimate divine pill? What kind of genius did the Hidden Fog sect miss out on? The Linghu family has really picked up a treasure this time. The Hidden Fog sect is probably regretting this so much that their intestines are turning green. If I were a member of the Hidden Fog sect, I would want to bang my head against a wall and die. Before Duan Lingtian came to the Linghu family, the fame he had created in the Hidden Fog sect had already spread far and wide. He wasn't even 3,000 years old, but with a divine spirit realm cultivation, he had become the first divine spirit realm core disciple in the Hidden Fog sect in 10,000 years. He was someone who could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Hidden Fog sect's former core disciple, Shui Haichuan. Later, when news of Duan Lingtian killing the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao spread out, it caused an even greater sensation. If one said that the two inner sect disciples that Duan Lingtian killed on the Hidden Fog sect's extreme martial arena weren't well known outside, then Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. But Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect that everyone knew of. Moreover, they knew that their strength ranked in the top 5 of the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples. However, these two middle god kings were existences that could defeat the majority of the Hidden Fog sect's upper god king realm inner sect elders. Yet they were killed by Duan Lingtian, who had just broken through to the lower god king realm. When this news spread to Linghu city, the entire city was stirred up. Many people even doubted the veracity of this news. However, as Duan Lingtian came to Linghu city and joined the Linghu family, those people who doubted the veracity of this news no longer dared to doubt it. The facts were placed in front of them. If this news wasn't true, then why would Duan Lingtian leave the Hidden Fog sect and join the Linghu family? As for the news of Duan Lingtian betraying the Hidden Fog sect, this news filled the Hidden Fog sect's disciples with righteous indignation. As for those outside, they didn't think much of it. They even thought that Duan Lingtian's choice was the best choice. Otherwise, would he have continued to stay in the Hidden Fog sect and waited for Old Man Feng and Old Man Lei to find him for revenge? Duan Lingtian's name had spread through Linghu city for a long time. It wasn't until recently that the rumor stopped a little. But at this time, the Linghu family sent out news that caused Duan Lingtian's name to become the focus of everyone's attention once more. He refined the Limit Divine Pill. In a private room of a restaurant in Linghu city, an old man sat at a table with an ugly expression on his face. He crushed the teacup in his hand, but the teacup did not splatter. Instead, there was a faintly discernible bolt of lightning wrapped around his hand. With a wave of his hand, The teacup fragments turned into arrows that shot out, piercing through the wall and flying away. "Honorable master, please calm your anger." Beside the old man, a young man who was originally sitting there felt the old man's anger. He hurriedly stood up and looked at the old man with a nervous expression. If Duan Tian was here and saw this young man, he would be able to recognize him with just a glance. This young man was none other than Ming, the core disciple who invited him to become Elder Lei's disciple after his battle with Tu Feng on the Hidden Fog sect's ultimate martial platform. At that time, he had rejected Ming. He thought that this matter would end like this, but he never imagined that this was only the beginning. Later, another disciple of Elder Lei, who was also Ming's senior apprentice brother, Long Xiao, harbored a grudge because of this. He joined forces with Shangguan Xiongfeng to bully Ming, and even forcefully took away the 2 revival good fortune pills Ming had just obtained from Wu Feng. However, not long after, the 2 of them died at the hands of Duan Tian, becoming the perfect example of if you don't do something, you won't die. Ming. The old man was Elder Lei. He looked at the young man with a gloomy expression and asked, "If I give up on avenging your senior apprentice brother, do you think he will blame me?" "Honorable master." Ming bitterly smiled and said, "Senior apprentice brother definitely won't blame you." "Honorable master, I have always advised you not to make an enemy out of that Duan Tian. That Duan Tian is too monstrous, so monstrous that he doesn't seem like a normal person. Based on this news, if he really has a powerful background, I'm afraid he's from a divine emperor force at the very least. Moreover, it's not an ordinary divine emperor force. Rumor has it that he's from a Devata realm, but can there be such a monstrous genius in a Devata realm? He's not even 3,000 years old, and his cultivation base is only at the primitive divine king stage. He's able to kill ordinary superior divine kings and emperor-grade divine alchemists. Even the most outstanding prodigies from the top divine emperor forces in Tunglung province can't compare to him at his age. Honorable master, I know you're angry about senior brother's death, but think about it from another perspective. If senior brother didn't target Duan Tian wouldn't have made a move on senior brother. Ming persuaded his master. Ming persuaded his master. He really didn't want his master to become enemies with Duan Tian. When he first saw Duan Tian, he felt like he couldn't see through Duan Tian. Because of this, even when Duan Tian rejected him, he didn't say anything. This was because he could see that Duan Tian was a person with a firm will. Once he made a decision, he wouldn't change it easily. Later, when Duan Tian returned to the Hidden Fog sect as a primitive divine king, he killed his senior brother, Long Xiao, and Shangguan Xiongfeng. This made him realize how terrifying Duan Tian was. Now, after learning that Duan Tian was able to refine an ultimate divine pill at such a young age, he was shocked. Even if the first, second, and third divine pills were only spirit-grade divine pills, one needed to be at least an emperor-grade divine pill master to refine them into an ultimate divine pill. Moreover, ordinary emperor-grade divine pill masters might not be able to do it. At the very least, the emperor-grade divine pill masters in the Hidden Fog sect were far from being able to do it. Elder Thunder sighed. In an instant, he seemed to age a great deal. He looked at Ming and said, "Ming, go to the Linghu family in my place and look for that Duan Tian. Tell him that my disciple Long Xiao provoked him and he killed Long Xiao. Long Xiao brought this upon himself, and I will not pursue the matter any further. From now on, the debt between us is settled." Elder Lei had compromised. Whether it was because of the monstrous talent Duan Tian displayed, or the unknown background of Duan Tian, Elder Thunder retreated. The reason he appeared in Linghu City was to find a chance to capture Duan Tian and bring him back to the Hidden Fog sect. All of this was because of the death of his disciple Long Xiao. But now he let it go. He had a strong premonition that if he continued to be enemies with Duan Tian, not only would he and his other disciples be implicated, but even the Hidden Fog sect might be implicated. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.